that really big incline, futures sharply higher following recent massive sell-offs fueled by fears of a global trade war as President Trump imposes tariffs on other countries that approach those charged on American goods. Japan among countries seeking negotiations with the U.S., while China continues to resist, exclaiming it will fight to the end. The Supreme Court rules the executive branch has the power to enforce immigration law using the enemy alien to deport illegal aliens, suspected gangbangers.
President Trump invoked the 18th century wartime law to justify the deportations under a presidential proclamation calling the Tren de Aragua gang an invading force. In dissent, the court's 3 liberal justices said the administration has sought to avoid judicial review in this case, and the 5-4 ruling now rewards the government for its behavior.
Correspondent Ben Thomas. Floodwaters have driven countless people from their homes across parts of the South and the Midwest, including in Dyersburg, Tennessee, where Michael Glass lives.
It's been a real stressful time. I woke up this morning, the waters came up dramatically, so I had to make a choice whether to stay or get out here, and they cut the water off, so kind of leave me in no choice but to seek other shelter.
Severe storms, including tornadoes, blamed for at least 23 deaths since last week. A Russian spacecraft has delivered NASA astronaut Johnny Kim and 2 Russian crewmates to the International Space Station for an 8-month stay. At least 15 people are dead, more than 100 others injured. This morning's collapse of a roof happened at a dance club in the Dominican Republic. Now, Wall Street stock futures sharply higher. The Dow futures up more than 1,000 points. NASDAQ futures better by 403 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something?
Boat wins!
Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing?
Boat wins!
Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing?
Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
His lawyer argues that Britain's Prince Harry was mistreated when he was stripped of his official government security detail. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma in London.
Prince Harry arrives at a London court to appeal losing access to his security detail. Harry, whose titles include the Duke of Sussex, was wearing a navy blue suit and light blue tie as he sat behind his lawyer in the court. His surprise appearance, observers say, is an indication of the case's importance to him. Attorney Shahid Fatima then argued a group that had evaluated the Duke of Sussex's security needs failed to follow its own process and perform a risk management assessment. So he'd been treated unfairly when losing his government-funded protection in February 2020 after he'd stepped down from his role as a working member of the royal family and moved to the US. The Prince has at least one more case pending in the UK courts. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants fluoride out of drinking water.
Kennedy cannot order communities to stop fluoridation, but he can tell the CDC to stop recommending it and work with the EPA to change the allowed amount. Last month, Utah became the first state to ban fluoride in public drinking water, pushing past opposition from dentists and national health organizations who warned that the move could lead to medical problems that disproportionately affect low-income communities. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Homeland Security telling those who entered the country using an online app to leave immediately. Not clear how many are affected. Some 900,000 people came into the U.S. using the Biden administration's CBP One app. The Trump administration's position is that if you want to become a U.S. citizen, use well-established procedures to apply for the chance to join the American family. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy, oh so happy Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
A pleasant Tuesday.
Monday's slightly younger, hotter sister.
Yeah, but it's nice.
It is. It's supposed to be real nice, at least first half of the week.
Yeah, I don't see a cloud in the sky at the moment, at least in my very narrow window.
Yeah.
But sun is out. It's going to be sunny, 81 today. Winds, like, manageable, 5 to 10.
It's going to be just spring for these few days.
Yeah.
Not spring, winter, summer, fall.
Yeah. Yeah, 81 today. 88 tomorrow. Tomorrow heats up.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday back down to 82.
Okay.
81 on Friday. And then the weekend, we're looking like 90.
Yeah, 90-something this weekend.
Yeah, we're both Saturday and Sunday.
Downright swimming weather.
Yeah, almost.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, almost. If you can, I don't think anybody's opening a pool this weekend.
No.
But if your pool temp was yeah.
No, but it's one of those things where you can go and let's say, to the main pool, to the indoor aquatic center.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy a swim and then not have to run to the car because you're still kind of wet.
You go out in your swim zone. Yeah, you don't have to change.
Well, they tell you to dry off completely before you exit, but nobody really does.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless you're getting in my car, then you
That's
drive.
Fair. That's fair.
Then you're gonna. I don't care what happens, but you will be dry when you're getting in that car.
Speaking of, I've had a couple of days to enjoy being a passenger, being Miss Daisy in Mike's new.
You like my ride?
Gladiator, right?
Yes.
Okay, in the Gladiator, and it's definitely an enjoyable ride.
Yeah,
it's comfortable.
It's way nicer,
real roomy.
More amenities in my other vehicle.
There is one thing. There is a lack of crap handles. For those who don't know what I mean, when you have the handle on the car because the driver's going a little erratic, and you're going, oh crap. Yeah, there's one up here.
Yeah.
But then you just feel weird. You're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this arm now because I'm just holding on to the handle up here. And that's sending a message to the driver. This is subtle. This is like, what are you doing?
How many times do you need the old crap handles since I've been...
Well, it's more just I don't know what to do with my hands. So I found myself like hanging my hand on the little flap of the metal up at the ceiling there. But other than that, it's a fantastic ride.
Yeah. Well, I could customize. I could throw some more old crap handles
and
on
I
it.
will say the Jeep you had last time, the handles were like attached in post-production essentially.
They were. Yeah, those old crap handles. Yes. So, yeah. Well, my wife wanted to take the old crap handles from the other one.
Really?
I said, no, they go with the other one. She wouldn't even take my little red, like a better term, nipple ring.
Yeah, that's what I always call it.
But I was like, no, those stay with the other Jeep too. Like, yeah, but I was like,
those
no.
are customizations.
And I said, the bumper didn't come with it either. I'm not taking the bumper either.
That ups the value. That's for them. They gave us a good deal. Let's give them a good deal.
That's right.
I do like the fact that she was going over it like, strip it for parts.
Like, no.
We're done with it. They don't need it. They're just going to send it back to some factory.
Well, and then I guess she was thinking I was going to put them on the new Jeep. And I was like, well, they're red. This Jeep's this baby blue color. It's not going to match.
Like, what's more American than red on blue? Huh? Huh? Put a little white in there, be a stripe.
No.
It's American ride.
That's just too flamboyant. Drive around a Sky blue Jeep, not flamboyant enough. Put some red nipple clamps or whatever.
You've aged up a bit. You don't see the need for nip rings anymore.
No.
Although, did you ever actually use that part on your old Jeep? Did you ever have to winch anybody out?
Like my nipples in real life? No.
Seemingly useless. I don't.
No, I have not used it.
I just can't imagine a situation where you have to pull somebody out of a ditch and you're not thinking, well, it's going to scuff my ride.
I mean, if I did off-roading things, then yes, I would. But yeah, I'm not. I'm not that guy. I off-road if I'm required to off-road to get to a destination.
Put it
I'm
this
not going
way.
to try to get stuck on purpose.
Mike got the four-wheel drive not for off-roading, but for driving around on Roswell roads. Mike can now traverse Albuquerque Road with no problems.
I like sitting high. I don't want to sit high and then sit in a vehicle that barely fits in a lane or in a parking space. And the Jeep is that creamy middle where I get high, but I don't have this big hulking.
You get high, but you don't get wide.
Right.
Although the Jeep is a bit wider.
Oh yeah, this one's a little bigger than my other Jeep, but it's not hulking huge.
Yeah, you're not
I
taking
can fit
up
in the garage.
You're not hummering it up,
Yeah. I can barely fit in the garage, but I can fit in the garage. But thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. About 3 weeks now. I guess I've owned it now.
Has it been already? Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's been.
Yeah, because your first road. Yeah, about 3 weeks. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Already got my Permanente tags on it and everything. So,
Kaiser Permanente.
For full on my vehicle now.
Yeah.
That's the moment when I'm not going to say every time I bought a vehicle, which is only a couple times, a new vehicle,
right.
Spanking, slapping on the butt and welcome to the world new. I've only bought that, this is my second one doing that. And, yeah, the Jeep was the first one.
I've done that twice.
Yeah.
It's a real good feel. Because you remember the odometer, because the one I got was 8 miles, and then this most recent one was, I believe, 13.
Yeah.
Every other mile that's on that odometer is mine.
And so, speaking of that, when we bought the Jeep, we're sitting there doing the paperwork on it. Kim's sitting next to me, and she's in the sales guy's talking to me, and he's like, all right, and he's doing this, and please note the odometer 22 miles, and Kim goes, how much? I said 22. He goes, 1,000? I said no, 22.
22.
2. And she goes, oh, that's it? It's just like blown up. Yeah, it's a new car, sweetie.
Literally, probably was driven off of the truck and then from lot to lot.
Well, about 5 of those miles were mine on the test drive, maybe 6. But
which that begs the question.
Yeah.
Where do you go to test drive? Every vehicle I've ever test driven in Roswell, I always take the same route. I'm curious yours.
I do not.
Okay.
It depends on the vehicle.
All right.
Like on my Jeep, in this Jeep, I kind of already knew what I wanted, so I literally just did a loop down to about the college and back, kind of just, from Richland, there at the Y, I kind of went back, and I already knew at that point. I've driven a Jeep, owned a Jeep. I kind of was already, I've been looking at it, I've been studying the pictures and doing it. At that point, I kind of already was on board. I just had to drive it to make sure this thing didn't, start doing weird stuff.
Sure.
And it drove just like my other Jeep, relatively, with the nicer amenities, but you know what I mean. I feel everything. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and pull back in. So let's do this.
Every new vehicle that I've purchased in this town was on 2nd Street, so my path has always been the same. When we first moved to Roswell, I went to Calvary Chapel, so I will drive up to Sycamore, down this way, and then around the path to this. I think technically a road, but mostly just a walking path that goes around to where Celebrating Recovery and all that is, and Calvary Chapel, then up 2nd and 2, usually Relief Route, and then just loop and
like when we bought
back.
my wife's car, she's a Hyundai gal, so her most recent Hyundai. Yeah, we usually do the deal where we'll go up to the tower site,
right,
back down, may hit not country club, Or Champion and all that is. What's Sycamore?
Sycamore, yeah.
Thank you. I just brain cramped to remember the name of that road. Sycamore there. And then occasionally we would ditty back because we used to live South Cedar, which was not actually far from, if you cross where the Stripes and what middle school is that? Monterey or
Sierra.
Sierra. We're probably about 4 or 5 blocks over.
I remember when I believe I helped you move out of that house.
You do? Yeah, that was we had to move out quick because we got a dog.
Because there were some guys coming. And
I was some money, some people. And, it was not pretty.
Just grab what you can grab and let's go.
Yeah, there was possibly agents of something.
If anybody asks, my name is Lester.
That's right.
Lester Friedman.
No hablo. Yeah, it was in the. I'm just kidding.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I recommended Shoresy to someone yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But they don't know Letterkenny, so I don't know. But they're really into hockey or getting into hockey.
Well, see if they're into hockey, if that's the goal, then I think this would be.
Yeah, so they're getting into hockey. And
you don't need to enjoy Letterkenny to enjoy Shoresy if you enjoy hockey. You have to enjoy one of those things.
Well, that's what I told them. I said, you want the id of a hockey player? I said, go watch Shoresy. That legit is. This is how hockey players think, act, live. So, anyway, let me give you the rundown. We got a full slate for you for today's show. Denise Trowbridge, waiting patiently in the other room right now from Scouting America. Going to join us here in just a few minutes. We got the Rio Hondo Pinewood Derby. Let the racing begin. That's going to be happening here at the Scout Center here on the 19th, I believe. So we're going to talk all about that with Denise here. You can get your children registered and have some fun Pinewood derbying it.
I got to tell you a funny story. Yesterday, I went to my son's school. He had a SAT meeting, and his teacher, Miss Argenbright, was talking about how her arm had been hurting from the whittling. Because she's in the process of whittling a
Pinewood Derby car?
I want to spoil it. She's whittling.
Don't spoil her car.
I will spoil the car.
She's making a car.
She's whittling a very uniquely shaped Pinewood Derby car.
Awesome.
And her arm is sore as a result.
You know what? The happiest thing I'm hearing in all of that sentence? She's whittling.
Yeah.
Car.
As soon as she said I've been whittling, I'm like, I miss whittling.
I didn't know I was hoping that people still whittled on their car.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, with all these parents and things that have these full shops and stuff. They're like,
oh,
no, we'll get the bandsaw and then we'll hit the router and the miter on it. And I'm like, I whittled mine.
It was my dad's buck knife and some sandpaper. Yep.
Yeah. So, cool. So we're going to talk Pinewood Derby here this hour. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell going to join us for his monthly visit. Gives us update what's happening out at ENMUR. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Alfredo and John are going to join us back to talk Matanza Fest. Remind folks, sign up your teams, get your recipes together, and get ready to come and eat a whole lot of delicious family tradition recipes. And but we'll talk Matanza Fest in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your newses of the local national variety. By the way, help yourself, but I had one of those toffees, the honey toffees that Crystal brought. Those things are delightful, so there's another one left I will share with one of the people. But I was telling Sean. It is 7:19. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that means pretty nice conditions for us. We'll hit about 80 for the afternoon high today. Maybe a little breezy, but not bad. Wind at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, and we get sunshine all day. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, mid to upper 40s, and then getting pretty warm on Wednesday. We're expecting upper 80s and sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68%. Man, I got to get my thicker glasses. Winds are currently out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Beautiful day. No complaints here. Sunny skies. High of 81. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10. Tonight, we are looking at clear skies and an overnight low of 43 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, warming up even more tomorrow. Sunny and 88 for a high. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night. Looking at an overnight low of 49 degrees. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Back down into the low 80s on Thursday, but, I mean, come on. Nice. Sunny, 82. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, a high of 81. And then weekend, the thermostat kicks up a bit on us. Sunny skies on Saturday, expect a high of 93. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 92. And then Monday, when you head back to it, back down into the mid-80s under mostly sunny skies. But enjoy this. This is spring, because like next week, it'll be summer. This is your spring right now. This is all you get. Enjoy it. All right, it is 7:21. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break, and then Denise is going to join us from Scouting America, and we're talking Pinewood Derby. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 580 head of cattle sold on Monday, following some much-needed moisture in the drawn area on a lower market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves, feeder cattle sold 15 to 25 lower on very limited receipts. Packer cows and bulls, 3 to 5 lowers on limited receipts. 3 to 400-pound steers, $4, $4.45. 3 to 400-pound heifers, $3.62. $3.75. 4 to 500-pound steers, $3.65, $4. 4 to 500-pound heifers, $3.20, $3.62. 5 to 600-pound steers, $3.10, $3.65. 5 to 600-pound heifers, $2.80, $3.20. 6 700-pound steers, $2.75, $3.10. 6 700-pound heifers, $2.55, $2.80. 7 to 800-pound steers and 7 to 800-pound heifers not well tested this week. Packer cows, $138, $142. Canner and cutter cows, $130, $135. Packer bulls, $160, $160, $250. Feeder bulls, $140, $145. Top half the cow calf pairs, $3,000 to $3,350 per pair. Top half the bred cows, $2,600 to $2,950 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
The Eastern New Mexico University System is proud to present One Eastern Day, sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank, Thursday, May 1st, 4 to 9 p.m. on the campus of ENMU Roswell. Come join ENMU for a family fun night featuring food trucks, inflatables, face painting, info booths, and live music by Roswell's own Grupo Maldad from 7 to 9 p.m. Bring the whole family out on May 1st to ENMU Roswell and join us for One Eastern Day. Visit roswell.enmu.edu for more information. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Scouting America here in the Conquistador Council, Denise Trowbridge back with us this morning.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Always great to have you on and talk to you, talk scouting with you here. Of course, If you're not familiar, we have a very strong scouting program here throughout Southeast New Mexico, and if you have a child from really almost
kindergarten,
from any school age on, we got you covered. From kindergarten to 21, so to adulthood, pretty much here.
Yeah.
So, and that's it's really and the one thing I like to talk is scouting's kind of evolved to obviously more inclusive, bringing females into the fold here, bringing more, but that's just been something that scouting's been evolving to, throughout my when I was a kid in scouting, it was back then they were evolving to, appeal older kids and to get, with the exploring, and to be honest, women were an active role then too. And once exploring came into the equation for scouting, that was actually the moment females starting any scouting program. That was back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's always evolved. And so, but I would tell you this, scouting is exactly what it was when you were a kid and nothing like what it was when you were a kid all at the same time, if that makes sense.
It's even more relevant today. So scouting actually came about because kids that no longer had to work needed something productive to do in the, teens and 20s of the 1900s.
Yeah.
And now it's even more relevant. We have a lot of things to give kids opportunities to get involved. But now it's a matter of getting them off of devices and getting them outside. That's where we learn.
And to be honest, this is the part, yes, we need now more than ever. Summer camp, which we're going to talk a little bit more about as we talk about Pinewood Derby. Every child in the country needs to experience summer camp.
Without a doubt.
Scouting, church, whatever your path is, kids need to be out in living in cabins and going in the lake.
Experiencing adversity.
Yes.
Adversity builds character.
Absolutely. And guess what? Camping in the woods is going to create some. Fire ain't going to start. The pot's going to tip over and there's goes dinner.
The best camping stories are always when it's things that go wrong.
Yeah.
You never share the stories of the things that go right.
Absolutely. It's when the tent pole breaks or there's you find out your tent is not as waterproof as you thought it was when it rains the first time you're in it. These are and absolutely summer camp is that. But it also is it exposes your children to so many different opportunities, and that's where as kids, especially in today's world, as you're raising kids, I feel like you almost just got to expose them to as many activities, events, and things. Find their niche. What are they into? And scouting's a perfect vessel to do that.
And the way that the program works, just to express how they learn all these skills, is we do fun projects. We call them adventures for the Cubs, but we sneak a lesson in so they learn a skill during these adventures.
Absolutely.
So, and that's how they earn rank and advance in the program, is by showing people that they've learned those skills along the way.
Absolutely.
So,
and the skills vary from life skills to things that, it may not get them a job, but guess what? It's going to be handy the whole life in life, like cooking or, certain,
map reading.
Yeah.
That's a skill that
Absolutely.
has gone to the wayside.
Well, yeah, because everyone's got a GPS on, but guess what? There's going to be places you go where GPS will not. And guess what? An old compass and a piece of paper with a map. You know how to do it. It'll get you everywhere.
We've also added a lot of new skills to kind of keep up with
the
time.
Computers and things that are more AI centric.
And it's not just learning computer skills; it's computer safety.
Sure.
Because a lot of that stuff isn't necessarily taught. So.
And the more advanced we get, the more dangerous it gets.
Absolutely. They're always smarter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's and this is where maybe old man screams at cloud kicks in here, but like I remember, younger, and everyone's like, don't give out your social security number. No. Now it's like, that's like level 1 worry. Now it's like, no, they could really create another version of you out there and just do whatever they want with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's where we're living now.
Yeah. And so we actually start teaching that cyber chip with the Cubs.
Yeah.
So they start learning that online security to keep themselves and their family safe.
Yeah, absolutely. But scouting, and that's what I mean by it's exactly what you remember and completely different than and because the traditions of scouting, the camping, the 12 points of the Scout Law, the traditions, that's all still ingrained in scouting. What is different is now they're not all about in canoes and whittling and things like that. Sometimes it's about the most high-tech thing you can think of. And that's what scouting is now. But either way, to get to the high-techy, you got to give the kids a base. And the base is in the dirt. And that's where when these kids are learning how to tie knots.
Or hold a knife. That's so cool.
Totem ship.
To watch a whole bunch of, first graders learn how to hold a knife properly.
Proper use of axes, saws, safety around that stuff. Those are skill sets that's going to carry with them long in adulthood. And I'm going to take a stab. When their moms and dads are going to be teaching their kids some of those skill sets.
Yep.
Or hopefully in scouting, showing them that. You know what I mean? Passing that along. But yeah, it's as much life skills, but you need emergency preparedness, first aid. You never know when you're going to come on a situation where you need to perform these things.
I've actually run across 2 instances since I joined the Scouts.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a stab that there's probably going to be a few more. Anytime you live life, go somewhere. You can be at the grocery store. Someone falls over, and next thing you know, you might be the first on the scene needing to save a person's life till the paramedics get there. Or at the beach, or vacations coming up summer. A whole lot of things happen in the summer.
Yeah.
You might have to be the person that comes in and saves the day or
I still surprise myself with the stuff that I'm prepared with in my purse. And I just account it to the fact that I'm trying to be thoughtful about what things that I bring, because now I'm thinking about it.
But it's also starting to get automatic pilot mode, and that's where you get and that's where you start getting to like how military heads start going. It's like, I just do it because that's my muscle memory tells me to.
Yeah. Yeah, but scouting has definitely changed my mindset about all of that.
Oh yeah, scouting, and I've said this 1,000 times in this show. I grew up in Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I was raised in scouting, and many of the good traits I have today, my parents, give them most of that credit, but scouting, very much. I would have never seen the world the way I did unless scouting provided that platform for me. Giving me confidence, overcoming fears. I mean, I still have fears of things that I'm not going to do, but I did them in scouting, and I'm proud of myself for doing them. I have a fear of heights. I've been to Philmont. I've done the high adventure. I've did the lumberjacking, climbing poles with the little spikes on your things. I've rappelled. I've rock climbed. At Philmont and various other scout camps and things. I've done these things. As an adult, I don't need to go on those adventures again because I'm good on heights, but I did it. I said I did it, and I overcame it, and I know, what? If Lord willing I had to do this, I could do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch me on a weekend saying, let's go climb a pole, but at the same time...
the flip side of that is I just joined as an adult, and I'm looking forward to doing all that stuff.
And so I'm not that I'm saying I'm going to want to rush out and do it, but I did it. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I went and I rang the bell, and I'm proud of myself for doing that, And
I'll send you video.
Okay. But scouting gave me the confidence to do that. Now, that being said, I'm not like, love of heights, and I still hate heights and all that, but I overcame a fear where it's not a fear, I just a dislike.
It's understandable.
God didn't give me wings. I'm good. But that's scouting, and that's what kids need to experience. Kids need to, like you said at the beginning, you got to have a little adversity. You got to challenge kids, but at the same time, that's what also builds the love. Because you know what, if your child has a love for the outdoors out of all this, then this is a win too. If nothing else, they just get a love and a respect for the outdoors. Then guess what? That's a success for scouting too.
Absolutely.
That's just to appreciate what you got, to understand, and the beauty of, and I will tell you this right now, in scouting is a faith-based organization, but it is all faith. It's the 12 elements of the Scout Law. One of them is reverend. It doesn't say Reverend Catholic, Reverend Jewish, Reverend. It just says Reverend. So it doesn't matter, as long as you have faith, then scouting is a part of you. So that's just to because people say, what about that?
It's still there.
It is still there, and it's very much. And yes, we pray at meals, and we pray. We have church services at camp. non-denominational, so all are welcome. But yes, we celebrate.
We celebrate Scout Sunday every year.
Absolutely.
Especially a lot of our units are chartered by religious organizations.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of
those
churches
scouts go to the church and show their respect for the support that the church is providing them.
Absolutely.
So it works both ways.
Yeah, without our civic organizations and our churches, many scout troops and packs would not have homes.
That's right.
That's just plain God's honest truth.
Yeah. we rely on our community partners to make these programs work. And again, these programs have been around for over 100 years now. There's a reason that they work, and it's the relationships and the support of our community that make the programs work.
And there's also, when you look at, just many successful people in whatever realms, whether it's, politics or science or sports or whatever it is.
Astronauts.
Yeah. A slew of Eagle Scouts.
Lots of Eagle Scout astronauts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Including the first guy on the moon. He's one.
That's right.
You don't know how to just look it up. That's your first task. Go look up who the first man on the moon was.
But a lot of them started off as cubs. And right after we teach them how to hold a knife properly, we turn around and have them whittle some Pinewood Derby cards.
If you kind of want to get a little slice of scouting life, then come on out to the Pinewood Derby. This one's actually the public Pinewood Derby. This one we want to bring. You don't even have to be in scouting yet to bring a Pinewood Derby card a part of this. Just come and get
Better
try it
yet,
out.
If you don't have a Pinewood Derby car built, we've got some pre-made ones that you can actually experience the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So it's really now. I will tell you this. Part of that experience is getting the car, because
it is.
I'm pretty sure that kit has not changed in 40 years or whatever many years, because it literally you get a block of wood and it's a block of wood, and it's got basically two grooves for where would be an axle, and then in the middle there's a bigger groove that kind of would be like a cockpit of a car or something like that, in the middle there. And then basically they give you 4 black wheels and nails to put in the grooves and they say, all right, when we're done, this thing has to be under 5 ounces, and that's about it.
It basically has to weigh the same.
Yeah.
So all the wood materials that you take off
if you did nothing,
you have to put weight back on it.
Yeah.
So it then becomes a weight
little
distribution
science,
thing. Yeah. And they learn exactly that. They learn about velocity and gravity and all the things that make the car go. So it's a little bit of a STEM event, but more importantly, it's competition.
Sure.
And there are some people that take Pinewood Derby very, very seriously. We actually have a number of people coming from other districts.
Nice.
That have finished their Pinewood Derby for the year and that are moving up to
and they
participate
got
in ours.
Crews. I ain't gonna lie, like his families are pit crews at this point. They got dad, mom, in on the action. All right, get some graphite on this.
Yeah.
We're gonna, more graphite, more of it.
Some of the cars that show up are really impressive.
Oh,
Last year, Caroline Brooks from the museum actually made a car.
Oh, nice.
And hers was like expertly carved into the shape of a wolf head. Needless to say, she definitely was the most creative.
Art community to help out. Well, see, and that's the beauty too. Is like, yes, I always like when I was a kid. It's okay. Well, if the car's not fast, at least it's pretty, and that's equally as cool. Because yes, they do. There is trophies for prettiest cars, and the fan favorites and all that. So it's not only the faster cars, but yes, usually the pretty ones get some trophies too and some awards. But that's the beauty of it. And this is a cool part is, you can make it a family experience, and that's what a lot of folks do, especially if you have a younger child that maybe you're like, all right, I'm not quite ready to turn the saw over to yet, but under supervised, care, then mom and child or dad and child are all together, sitting in the room going, all right, now this is how you safely work this saw, and let's make a cut here, and we're going to do this, and and let the creative juices flow.
And I glazed over it, but adults are welcome too. We're going to have an adult category.
Oh, great.
So if you've got an old derby car, break it out and come play.
So if you want to do like an inter-family competition, it's like, okay, son, daughter, old mom and dad here, you think you poo-poo on our ideas. game on. About to educate you.
Yep.
Have fun with that. And I'll tell you, you get, and this is the cool part, is you get so many creative ideas. I've seen everything from cars that look like your Formula One stuff to things that you're like, is that even still part of the kit? Like they've added pieces to where it's higher and taller. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I remember as a kid, and it wasn't bad, someone made a space shuttle out of their car thing. And of course, this was back in the 80s where space shuttles were more relevant and stuff. But yeah,
Challenger.
But they actually pulled and did, they actually did it up, and it looked kind of like a space shuttle. It ran like garbage because it was wider, but it looked pretty.
Sometimes it's about creativity, not about speed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share with you, just because I looked up some interesting facts about Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
The first Pinewood Derby race was held May 15th of 1953.
Okay.
In Manhattan Beach, California. And that was Cub Scout Pack 280.
Nice.
So, like everything else, things change.
I wonder if you go to like their meetings, if they're still in existence.
That's what it actually says.
Yeah.
Is that it's there. They have a scout hut. They have their own house. It's
so they
still
have like
there.
home of the very first Pinewood Derby. That's pretty cool.
But the reason that it picked up and took off so fast is because they took pictures and submitted it to Boys Life, the magazine that's now Scouts Life.
Yeah.
But it was shared with the entire nation at that point, and it was picked up very quickly.
Nice.
So the Don Murphy was the Cub master there. He's considered the father of the Pinewood Derby.
Excellent. So now you can come and be a part of this decades-long tradition here. Now for folks here in Roswell and surrounding areas here, the event will be taking place. You guys are partnering up with the Boys and Girls Club.
We are, yes.
And so you can come out to the Boys and Girls Club, and then, quite frankly, if you want to learn more about either organization and getting your youth involved, they would love to have you both. Boys and Girls Club do great things for kids. If you're looking for after-school activities for your kids, that's primo number one right there. They're about the best in the business when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
we're both serving the youth of our community, and we're trying to find more opportunities to collaborate, not only with the Boys and Girls Club, but other organizations as well.
And kids could have a path in both. We're Boys and Girls Club, they do a lot of after school and things. Scouting, kind of, nights, evenings, weekends, more of a, so you can actually have a child very much involved in both of those pretty easily, actually. So, yeah, so just another opportunity here and more skill set, because they both are creating leaders at the end of the day too, because I know in the Boys and Girls Club, when we talk to them, obviously the younger kids are, very much supervised homework, but as they're the high school age and stuff, they're kind of creating their own programs, creating their own leadership and that kind of things, very much like scouting does, where, in Cub Scouts, when they're at that age, adults are kind of more running the show. But by the time they get into the scouting program, when they get of age there, by the time they're a year or two in, they're planning their own camping trips. They're planning their own everything, from the fun part to the part of how we paying for this bad boy.
Yep, and that's because we challenge them to not only learn to be leaders, but to mentor other scouts. So we have a collaborative program where the scouts will come in and be den leaders in the Cub program as well. So
that's kind of like call that our JV high school kind of deal, where how like you see the varsity players will come down and visit the JV and say, "Hey, we can't wait if you come eat," and they kind of, the younger kids who that's kind of Scout's
we also
version of that.
have a counselor and training program at Wahanape.
Yeah.
So kids that have kind of aged out of the scouting program or maybe aren't going to summer camp can actually join summer camp and learn how to become a counselor.
Yeah, and then the next year they're full staff members.
Exactly.
At that point here. We'll talk a little more about that real quick. I do want to kind of continue on here with the event now. For the Rio Hondo Pinewood Derby, it's gonna be happening there.
It's April 19th.
April 19th. That's what I was trying to find was the date.
Yeah, it's the Saturday before Easter. Check-in for the Pinewood Derby starts at 9 and the first race is at 10. We are asking that everybody register ahead of time.
Gotcha.
So we can prepare awards and get things lined up.
If you go on like the Conquistador Council's Facebook page or anything like that, there's a flyer with a QR code.
I've got it set up as an event on Facebook because it is open to the public. Registration is going to direct you to our private site. But if you have any questions, you can always contact us at the council office. That's 575-622-3461. And just let them know you have questions about the Pinewood Derby, and we'll be happy to help you.
And that's all free to register and all that
it's
stuff.
It's all open, a free cost. Event, no cost
like
at
I said,
all.
We'll get you a kit. We'll get you everything you need to start one or just run one while you're there.
Yeah.
But I will warn you, if you want to build your car, don't wait till like the 18th.
Absolutely.
You might want to get it like today.
Bit.
It takes a minute. Depending on how skill set or I know some people like, shoot, I got a shop. I could crank this out about 30 minutes. Oh, great. Not all of us have that. Some of us are whipping out a pocket knife.
Yeah, and there is a check-in process. That's why we give ourselves an hour, because once you get there, your car is going to be weighed.
Sure.
And we make sure that it follows all of the rules. All of the rules
just
are
like
listed
NASCAR,
on the
we're
website.
going to get our judges and scrutinize and make sure this thing's legal to run and all that
We're
good stuff.
trying to keep it an above-board board event.
No
because
shenanigans.
That's what encourages other people to participate.
Well, I will say this: you're going to find all levels of competition.
Oh yeah,
you're going to find folks that they take this very seriously, and they're going to be like, file them wheels down more. I don't feel smooth. I don't feel. You know what I mean? They're out there with probably like micrometers and measuring stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's really the other half. It's just, let's have some good time. We'll slap. Oh, this thing looks pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
want to just keep it. It's all about the kids having fun, and they understand the rules, but those are there for just guidance, and we want to make sure to play fair.
And I know, because I've seen the track is way more advanced.
We have a really big track
compared to when I went through. Like when I had it when I was a kid, ours was this 3-lane thing, and it was literally just the track. And it was sweet as far as driving on it, but it was literally just a little sticks that held the cars in place. You slide the sticks, the cars drop down, and you literally had to have like 3 people at the end with pillows to catch the cars, because otherwise they just shoot off into the wall.
We've actually upgraded the track software.
Yes, that's the first thing that's new advanced. Mine had no software. It had nails, it had hammers. Maybe some varnish. That was about it. Now they've got,
it's an electronic release,
exactly.
And it's a timer, and there's a little screen at the end of the track that says the numbers that they come through. So
it's way more high tech.
It is very high tech.
It's like going to like a drag strip, and you see there's the numbers at the end. 5, 6. They got it down to that technology now.
Yeah, we're hoping to even get the instant replay set up.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I literally had a couple dads like, get the pillows.
Yeah. But it really is so much fun. I'm looking forward to a great day with the kids.
It is so much fun. So please mark the 19th. Make plans to come on down to the Boys and Girls Club
and get registered.
Absolutely, yeah. Please go register. And even if maybe you're like, well, I don't know if we want to participate, but I'd love to come on down to watch it. Come watch the racing. Come in. Like it'll be going on all day that day, 9 to 5. Just come on down and just see what's going on and check it out.
It's a lot of fun.
It's absolutely a lot of fun. And I'm telling you, come if you just want to see the cool cars. Like you said, some people get very, I got to imagine, I can't, and if no one's done one, they're not doing it right. The Pinewood Derby car and the Tesla truck, they're a match made in heaven. I'm just saying.
Those are some easy cuts, man.
It's like if you're, but you can make that pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like if you want to make a cool car, but you don't have expert level 10 carpentry skills, I feel like the Tesla truck might be your
like 8 easy cuts.
Might be your inspiration.
Okay. I think the challenge has been put out there.
There you go. I would love to see a cool looking Tesla truck out there. Or maybe the uniquenesses in the paint job. Maybe, I don't know, go whatever you want with it. America it up or scout it up or give it Flame City. Whatever you want to do it. It's your truck. But that'd be cool. But again, here on April 19th at the Boys and Girls Club, Come on. Again, go to...
nmscouts.org is our
Yes.
website, and you can actually get to the calendar of events right there from
Perfect. Or if you do our Facebooker, there
Mhm.
is it's Rio Hondo Conquistador Council Pinewood Derby. Any of that combination of words to get you there, and then you can scan the QR code, register, do your whole kit and caboodle. And if you have any questions, call the Scout office, and probably Denise will be there to help you and answer any questions.
Yep.
Anything about that too. Another opportunity. We're talking Scout Camp here, and we're talking about CITs and that type of thing. Well, if you have some age, some
16 and older.
16
is
older,
who we're
some-
looking for.
some teenagers here that or older
Or
that-
looking for a summer job.
yeah, Camp Wahanapay's got a few camp counselor openings. So if you want to spend your summer in the mountains, earning a little money and having a lot of fun, maybe a camp counselor gig is for
It's
you.
an amazing experience to be on staff at camp.
I love
and to be honest with you, just getting away from the heat
Mhm.
from here all summer long is it's great.
I did it in my late teens, early 20s there for a couple of years, and it's cool. It is so much fun, and I don't know how the counselors live at Wahanapay. We lived in tents.
We actually have staff cabins.
Okay.
They're pretty nice.
So you guys are a little more...
a
heck.
little bit.
Now, we
yeah.
had tents, but we were the lucky camp because our tents had ability to hook electricity. So we could have fans and radios.
No, fancy.
Yeah, we were... We were
No.
Well, the other... Because the camp we worked at was actually a big old... It had a lake, and it had like 6 more camps around it. And one was a Cub Scout camp, one was and then it was like different, like one you could eat at dining hall, one you built your food like at the camp. It was different.
It reminds me of
experiences.
those movies when they'd swim across to
Yeah.
the girls' camp.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how it was built. So, but our staff camp had electricity. The other camps didn't. And so we were kind of looked at as full babies. Because we had radios and fans.
Yeah.
But
We're
they
looking
lived, but you go to Wahempe, you're living in a cabin in heaven.
They're really nice cabins,
Nice.
and they're 4 to a cabin, and I mean that's a great relationship that you build all summer long.
I will warn you right now. One thing that is not available up there is internet. Signals.
Actually, that's changed.
Oh, they changed it. Oh,
we
I
have
kinda bummed it.
Starlink now, but we can't give access to the staff.
Oh, okay,
because
good.
we tried that and they went crazy, and we have limitations.
So we have emergency internet.
We have emergency
but
internet.
not scrolling your phone internet.
But believe it or not, adding the internet has opened up the access to a lot of adult leaders that couldn't have otherwise come.
Good. That part's good.
Because we have to be flexible to accommodate the people that can't
Never
come.
should the campers have access.
No, the campers don't have access, and now I think the staff only have access on off
Good.
weekends.
Good.
But
They can get it like one day a week or something because I get it. You're up in the woods and you want
Mhm.
to contact family. But
most of them are stuck there.
they are in that
so-
creamy age of the phone
Yes.
is fused to their hand.
Yeah.
like their elbow.
Yeah. The best camp staffers, like I said, are between 16 and 20 years old.
Mhm.
That's really when they learn a lot about leadership
Absolutely.
and responsibility for the jobs that they've committed to.
Absolutely.
But we're actually looking for some more kids that are 16 to probably 18 years old for the fun stuff.
Mhm.
Scoutcraft, fishing, ecology, things
Excellent.
like that anybody that has any outdoor interest, we can teach them how to teach those roles.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're not like ecology and stuff. Yes, you're not teaching professor level,
No.
biology and
You're
and
teaching
plant
enough
life.
to help them finish their merit badges.
Yeah, I would say, you know what? I would invite you, if you're interested, go to the Scout office here on Aspen, pick up some merit badge books, grab the
Mhm.
Scout camping.
It's all online
Any
now.
of the not. Oh yeah, you can do. Go in there and
Mhm.
smell the books and touch them. And then, not
But
everything has to be digital.
You're right. There's hundreds of different merit
Absolutely.
badges, and you're bound to find something that interests you.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to end up getting registered for a sales and marketing merit badge, which I didn't even realize existed.
Absolutely.
But here I am trying to get you to get the communications merit badge.
That's right.
It works both ways.
Absolutely. So I would invite you, if you're interested in it, and this is a chance you get to be at the, and I'm going to tell you this right now, you're going to make some great friends, probably some lifelong friends. You're going to connect with some of the staff members, and I'm telling you, it happens every camp. There's always It's just teenagers. It's just we can't watch every movie about a summer camp ever and all. That's what's going on.
We actually have a couple of staff that have been coming up for, I guess, onwards of 10 years now, and now they're married.
That's
they
what I'm
met
talking
each
about.
other there.
Yeah, you're creating these relationships. So if you're interested in creating that as a camp counselor, please check in with the Scout office. Come by on Aspen or call or shoot a message on the Facebook page. And like I said, 16 and up here on this one. And
Yep, we only have a few more positions open, so this is a great summer opportunity for any youngster that's looking for a great summer job.
Oh yeah, this would be a lot of fun. I mean, I envy you. If I was younger and didn't have the responsibilities I do now, I totally would do it again. You know what I mean? If I could actually leave for the summer and
you can broadcast from Winnipeg. We have internet now.
Yeah, my guests would get mad. Excellent. So again, folks, don't forget here, April 19th at the Boys and Girls Club is the Rio Hondo Pinewood Derby. Anybody that wants to be a Pinewood Derby person, come check it out. Don't have to be in scouting if you want. And of course, if you love it and want more involvement in scouting, we'll be happy to talk to you about that. But please come on the 19th, and then don't forget, we are looking for some camp counselors for summer camp at Winnipeg this summer.
Any questions? 622-3461, and we're happy to answer your questions. nmscouts.org.
Yeah, and find a troop today and have some fun. I'm telling you, it'll change your whole family's life because you'll be very happy you did. Trust me. I am who I am because of scouting, and I will never, ever, tell anybody that I sing the praises of scouting. It's a great organization.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you next time. It is 7:56. Let's pause for news, and I think I got time for Kim Commando. Don't go away. We'll be back. Don't go away. And then more news on the other side of the news. So in between the news is more news. So don't go away.
Now, with your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A public meeting in Roswell for the annual Community Development Block Grant disbursements. The state of New Mexico will be giving out more than $137 million through the CDBG program to support long-term disaster recovery in communities impacted by severe storms, floods, and wildfires. Residents can provide input by attending an in-person public meeting tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. at ENMU Roswell's Occupational Technology Center. And a second meeting will be Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at ENMU Ruidoso. The oil and gas industry will continue in New Mexico without restricting new state laws. After the legislature's 60-day biannual session ended, no new laws were enacted involving the oil and gas industry. That's not for trying, though. Some bills were introduced involving keeping new wells away from schools, keeping habitual rule breakers and financially risky companies and people from buying wells, increasing state fees and penalties to match the rate of inflation, and codifying the state's much-touted methane regulation rules. All bills were either voted down or undebated. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Starting May 7th, you'll need a real ID to fly. DMVs across the country are packed. Lines are wrapping around buildings. It's chaos. If standing in line for hours sounds miserable, pay someone else to do it. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. You can cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. See if your company qualifies at oracle.com/Kim. Line sitting is a real job. Think Broadway tickets, product launches, bin store restocks, passport appointments, college registration, even meet and greets. Prices depend on location, line length, and timing. On apps like TaskRabbit and Spot Blaze, expect to pay $25 to $35 an hour. In cities like New York and LA, it can go over $40, especially if it's raining or overnight. Most apps add a service fee of 5 to 10%. It also works the opposite way. If you're looking for some extra cash, line sitting could be your next side hustle. Just bring snacks and, of course, a phone charger. Start your day with my free newsletter at getkim.com.
There's a growing expense eating into your company's profits. It's your cloud computing bill. You may have gotten a deal to start, but now the spend is sky high and increasing every year. What if you could cut your cloud bill in half and improve performance at the same time? Well, if you act by May 31st, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure can help you do just that. OCI is the next generation cloud designed for every workload, where you can run any application, including any AI projects, faster and more securely for less. In fact, Oracle has a special promotion where you can cut your cloud bill in half when you switch to OCI. The savings are real. On average, OCI costs 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 80% less for networking. Join today's innovative AI tech companies who upgraded to OCI and saved. Offer only for new U.S. customers with a minimum financial commitment. See if you qualify for half off at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street and overseas markets appear to be regaining their footing after big sell-offs prompted by fears of a global trade war. Wall Street is opened sharply higher this morning. Japan's Nikkei soared over 6%. Japan is among countries pursuing trade talks following President Trump's tariff hikes. China, though, remains unyielding, and President Trump threatens additional 50% tariffs on Chinese imports. Amid the stock market's turmoil, LPL Financial's Adam Turnquist is urging investors to hang in there.
These are not the times you want to be selling equities.
Never a good idea to sell low and buy high. Attorney General Pam Bondi calls it a landmark victory for the rule of law, referring to a Supreme Court ruling on the deportation of illegal aliens suspected of belonging to criminal gangs. The ruling, one of two high court decisions favoring the White House.
In a major legal victory for Donald Trump, justices on the high court allowed his administration to use the 18th century Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan migrants. However, migrants must be given reasonable time to go to court before deportation. The high court was split 5-4. Separately, Chief Justice John Roberts agreed to pause a midnight deadline for the administration to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The death toll at least 23 from severe storms that have devastated parts of the South as well as the Midwest. Florida has won its first NCAA championship since 2007. The Gators beat Houston 65-63 in the men's NCAA title game last night. And watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 1,164 points, the NASDAQ ahead 590 points, and the S&P is up 155, all gains of more than 3%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
It's definitely not sweet perfume filling the air of this British metropolis.
Stinky garbage is piling up on the streets of the United Kingdom's second largest city. Garbage has piled up for a month in Birmingham during a dispute between the city and its trash collectors. So far, there's been no agreement by the two sides, but they will meet again on Tuesday. Union garbage workers walked off the job March 11th over the elimination of a job position and pay cuts. Now, mountains of trash are said to be visible from space, and people have complained of seeing rats as big as cats rummaging around in the debris. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Britain's Prince Harry has gone to an appeals court challenging the UK government's decision to strip him of his publicly funded security detail. He lost that privilege in 2020 after stepping down from his role as a working member of the royal family and then moving to the U.S. News and analysis, townhall.com. This is like something straight out of Jurassic Park, and it leaves one to wonder, is it really a good idea?
Scientists at Dallas's Colossal Biosciences say they've genetically engineered dire wolves back into existence, despite their being extinct for over 10,000 years. An article in Time magazine describes how the company took blood cells from a living gray wolf and used gene editing technology, or CRISPR, to genetically modify cells. The genetic material was transferred to an egg cell from a domestic dog to create embryos that were then transferred to surrogates. The 3 pups are named Remus, Romulus, and Khaleesi. Colossal Biosciences is also working to de-extinct the woolly mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, the northern white rhinoceros, and the dodo bird. Tasha Stevens reporting.
A crew of 3, 2 Russians and 1 American, has arrived at the International Space Station. They departed early this morning for an 8-month stay aboard the orbiting outpost. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The deuce. Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here, 106.5. Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You made it to day 2.
Second day of the rest of your life.
And your reward? A nice day.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, perfect. Sun's out, guns out.
Little light breeze just to kind of toughed up the hair a little bit.
Might be a good have lunch in a park type day. Yeah, go find you a park, a patch of grass, or sit down and have some lunch.
I like it. Throw down like maybe not like a blanket, but if you have just like an extra like towel handy.
Yeah. Like, all of us at some point in our, especially if you're a married couple, you got as a gift at some point
a picnic set.
Picnic basket set with the plaid little cloth and the napkins and the little plates and the little charcuterie boards and
nice
whatnot.
Little basket.
Yeah, little utensils.
The clasp.
Maybe dust that sucker out of the closet. And,
on a Tuesday.
Throw some sandwiches in there.
do it, man. The problem I have now with like, enjoying a nice sit down on the grass is at my age, I have to contemplate getting back up at some point.
These are, yes, maybe fun to park with some picnic tables.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Something with a nice sit down spot.
Take
a couple of those fold out chairs with you.
Yeah, or maybe have lunch in Pioneer Plaza if you work downtown or live in the area and go sit by a statue and eat a sandwich or something. It's one of those kind of days.
Yeah, share some Subway with a pigeon.
Maybe read a chapter of a book or two before you head back to the office.
Does it seem like we have more pigeons than we used to around here? Like, I feel like back in the...
noticed one way or the other?
Yeah, I try to... I'm an observant person. Yeah. I used to notice a lot of, like, grackles and the like of those.
Artesia had a grackle. I don't know if they still do, but that place was Alfred Hitchcock-esque.
Roswell was bad there for a minute, but I don't remember seeing as many pigeons as I've been seeing lately. Pay attention to the world around you, man. You'd be amazed what you see.
My problem.
Purple flowers everywhere that I hadn't seen before. Pigeons. Live your life like a drifter. That's how you really got to do it. That's when these hills sing.
Yeah, I have been really slacking on my people watching. skills lately. I do enjoy just sitting back and watching the world go by, and I haven't had time to do that.
What's fun for me is and I love that the pull back of the curtain. The brand wagon, the remote vehicle that we use, has basically the one way windows.
It's a voyeur's paradise.
Oh, it's fantastic. The amount of people watching you can do.
Because you can't see in, but you can watch everybody.
But what I like to do is I take people watching to the next level because I like to build scenarios for these people. Like trying to picture that guy's dealing with a breakup that that was brought on by finding out his.
You create conversations.
Yeah, fully like full blown like backstories and scenarios. And then when they go to interact with somebody else, that person's universe is clashed in with theirs. It's a fun way to pass time.
Yeah.
Keep your hands off the phone,
Yeah. When people watch, I just kind of, I'm watching mannerisms, the way they act, the way they do, and just seeing interactions between people, just kind of, they're mad. What's going on there? That's an interesting pants choice.
Yeah. Why is that guy singing?
I'm very much like that. Because I'm like, somebody didn't care when they got out of bed. I'm pretty sure that's pajamas. You know what I mean? I just that guy.
I don't care if they're listening right now. A couple of days ago, I was in the parking lot of Farmers about to go inside. There was a truck, a rather large truck, that took the parking spot that we were going to take.
Okay.
Out of this truck at 1:30 p.m.
Wow, precise.
Steps a young gentleman wearing plaid pajama pants.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
I'm like,
I see that all the time.
Come on.
Yeah, I see that more than I should.
Like, I mean, he wouldn't have, he was a fit-looking young dude. I just put some regular pants on, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, I know we were just popping down for some butter or something, but now you got that weird
and this is coming,
jiggle.
I agree, and this is coming from the guy that, look, I'm the least fashion-centric probably person. I don't care about fashion.
Same.
I'm built for comfort, not for looking. And but that being said, never will I ever go into the public wearing my pajama pants.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Sweatpants is the line.
I live in sweatpants.
Yeah, that's
I will
fine.
never go in pajama pants.
But the pajama
that's crossing
pants,
the line.
There's just a certain something about it. It's got a button fly in the front, generally speaking. It's not what I would consider outdoor apparel.
Well, the material's different.
Yeah.
It's like a flannel or cotton. It's built to be soft and squishy, not handling the rigors of the outdoors.
The rigors.
It's not denim. It's not, whatever blends of whatever they put in khaki pants.
Just that guy, as that guy stepped out of the truck, I just had this thought. It's like, they used to have to circle wagons around animals to eat for the evening. And this dude's strolling in to get some Kerrygold butter for his waffle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's people watching. That's what I do. I do that.
Yeah.
And I do judge secretly for various things.
Of course.
I'm like, come on, man.
That's why you got to get, I can't think of the other guy's name, but you got to get the other old guy to your Waldorf.
Yeah, the Muppets.
Yeah. So that you can sit there and just destroy somebody together.
They have to do it right. It comes in twos. But if sometimes you don't have someone to do that with.
Grumpy Old Men was a great example of that because they actually, on several different points in that movie, that's just the two of them just watching what's happening and just commenting on playing commentary.
That's old, getting old. I think that's just a hobby of the old.
Yeah.
Or older.
And it's funny you say that because when I was younger, not a kid, but when I was younger, I used to think, what is the appeal of just sitting around and talking?
Now you get it.
I don't ever want to do anything else.
That's your favorite thing, yeah.
Why do we have to be hanging out let's just hang out?
That's right.
Sounds delightful.
When you're younger, it's about the adventure, experiencing everything else. But when you get older, you've experienced the adventures. Now you want to experience that and just you're in a different phase of life. You're you're caring more about family. You're caring more about your legacy or what stamp you're putting on life. You know,
I was leaning more towards you're sitting down, you're not
well,
moving.
then there's the other thing, too. Your knees tell you can't do that anymore. Your back tells you can't do that anymore. Your shoulder tells you can't do that anymore. That also happens.
Yeah.
But your brain physically, you know, your interests, your things you care about change after you get older.
That's your body, people watching you.
Yeah.
Basically, all your parts start hurting.
And it doesn't make sense when you're young, but boy, when you hit the parts where it does, then it makes sense. And to be honest, I almost like, I know we as older people tell younger people don't do it, but we were all young and we were told the same things, and it doesn't resonate until you actually do it yourself.
Sure.
That's just, you know, we can.
Nothing is real until it's put into practice.
Hopefully young people, when they hear these things, just understand it does happen. I know it doesn't feel like it now, and you think, well, that's you, not me.
Mm-hmm.
It will be you.
Write that down.
It will be you.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a point in life where the light bulb switches, something happens. It'll be in the middle of the night, or something your kid will do, or something happens that will trigger that moment. You're like, oh, I'm that thing now. It just happens.
Yeah.
And it will happen to you and everyone. It happens to everybody.
You'll hear something come out of your mouth and realize that's exactly what my father used to say.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a gander at the weather here in just a bit. And then from Eastern Mexico University, Roswell, Director of Marketing, Martha will be back with us. Chat, talk a little bit about what they got going on at ENMUR. Then later on in the hour, we'll get you update with news of the local variety and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's take a gander. Oh, Sean, real quick. Something I want us to try.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I procured some new Oreos.
Oh, yeah.
And these, I feel like you and I have a love for this.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's see what Oreos did with it. This is
Toffee Crunch Flavor Cream.
Yes.
Toffee flavor cream artificially flavored with sugar crystals. Okay, so it's going to have that crunch with
you
sugar
both are a
crystals.
fan of like Heath bars or Score bars, and I feel like this is Oreo meets Score.
This might be a knockout of the park.
So
you do this next hour?
Let's try to do this next hour.
Yeah.
Do that.
Very cool.
And so we'll set that aside.
All right.
Maybe some guests.
Snack
Guests might
time.
want to try this one.
Yeah.
Like some of the things we try, guests do not. This one, I think they might want to try.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the radio.
Yeah.
But just real quick as an aside, my son, he hates quail eggs so much they've actually invaded his nightmares.
Oh no.
He like the
I've
thought
traumatized the boy.
thought of a quail egg. He said I took a bite of he was here and I offered him one his trying time. He took one bite, he said he spit it out and he almost threw up.
Oh.
And now it is the bane of his existence. It haunts his dreams.
Does he eat regular eggs?
He's fine with regular eggs.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to scare him off on all eggs.
No, it's just quail.
Well, quail, your eggs are safe.
Congratulations.
From one hunter. All right, it is 8:17 now. Let's do your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that means pretty nice conditions for us. We'll hit about 80 for the afternoon high today. Maybe a little breezy, but not bad. Wind at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, and we get sunshine all day. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, mid to upper 40s, and then getting pretty warm on Wednesday. We're expecting upper 80s and sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 69%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Nice day today. Sunny skies. Expect a high of 81 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 43 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. In the upper 80s for your Wednesday. Sunny and 88 with northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night. Looking at an overnight low of 49 degrees, southwest winds 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 82 for a high, northwest winds 5 to 10. And then Friday, we're going to be around 81 for a high under sunny skies. And then the weekend, we're going to hit the 90s, 93 and sunny on Saturday, 92 and sunny on Sunday, back into the mid-80s when you head back to it on Monday of next week. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then we're talking Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
The Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation salutes hunters in the role they play in providing critical funding for conservation. Celebrate how hunting is conservation at the Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation Annual Banquet, Saturday, April 12th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. The Roswell Banquet will take place on April 12th at 5 p.m. Get your tickets now at rmef.org and go to the New Mexico Events tab. Celebrate hunters at the Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation Roswell Banquet, Saturday, April 12th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone, get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires April 10th.
If you're a service member, veteran, or family member who's feeling alone,
whether you're in crisis or not,
don't remain silent and suffer alone.
There is help out there.
Talk to someone you can trust.
Free confidential support is available 24/7 through the Veterans Crisis Line. Just text or call 988 and press 1 for veterans. Talking to someone about suicide won't increase the risk of suicide. It could save a life.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, the Department of Health, the NMBA, and this station.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannick device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, I knew you'd get that because I know your day job too. But Director of Marketing for Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Martha Stab, back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Mike. How are you? I love coming here because you just make me laugh.
Sometimes I don't mean to.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, but of course, your job is busy right now.
So busy.
Because it's kind of a transition time. You know, you always have these certain times of year. They're a little bit of a transition period at the college. And now we're kind of gearing up for finals and kind of wrapping up the spring semester while at the same time gearing up for summer and fall. And so it's kind of that creamy little lot going on.
And then graduation.
Yeah, and then, of course, kids are going to walk the stage here in a little bit. I say kids. folks are going to walk the stage here in a month or so. So yeah,
it's wild right now.
Yeah, it's a busy
so
time.
Insane.
But that being said, if you're looking to start your future or continue your future or get involved in the Eastern New Mexico University community, this is a good time of year to start checking things out and getting involved.
Yeah, registration's open for the summer and the fall.
Yeah.
So if anyone is interested in starting that, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Well, summer you need to do it right now because there's a limited number of classes, and if you're needing a particular one, you need to lock it in quick.
Right.
But if you're looking for fall, this is the best time because now that pretty much it's before everyone else starts signing up.
Right.
So if you're looking, especially if you have classes that you need for your degree plan and a narrow window in which you're able to attend said classes, this is the time to register. That way you kind of have a better variety of times schedule, whether if it's online or in person or which are all options on the table for almost all classes through ENMUR. So but whatever it is, however if your schedule's crazy, the easier the earlier you do it, the easier you're going to have navigating that process.
Absolutely, because then you put a kink in your degree plan, and then if you want to graduate in the spring,
yes,
you're probably going to have to graduate in the fall. So
absolutely.
You got to really hurry up and get it done.
Yeah. So if you're for summer, absolutely, you need to be on the website or at the campus if it's your first semester, and then for the fall, go ahead and get that done now. Get it locked in, and that way, when everyone's kind of running around with their hair on fire,
exactly.
that last week of August, or right around that first week, you're just cool as a cucumber. Just worrying about other things like, do I have my books, or is my professor gonna do this or whatever. Whatever other concerns you have, you can focus on those.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're obviously encouraging our veterans, if you haven't used your GI benefits,
absolutely,
get over there and get started on that process.
Back when I was in, you had to pay $1,200. I don't know what it is now, but
yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it is now, but we have a dedicated person that knows all that. So
well, I will tell you this now, and for all you future, like if you're talking to the recruiters and all that stuff, when you're in basic training, and this is when they asked me, when they ask you if you want to sign up for the GI Bill, say yes.
Yes.
Say, I don't care what they do. And how they did it when I was in, and I don't know how it works, is you had to pay $1,200 into the program. They take $100 either a month, I think $100 a month out of your paycheck. And then after that first 12 months, you're done. You're in. You're in the GI Bill, and you've got the thousands and thousands of dollars available to you. And then the next thing I will tell you, don't tap into it until you actually are out of the military. While you're in, they've got programs that you can go to school for free and stuff, and they'll pay for it while you're still active duty. And you don't even have to tap into your GI Bill. So for all you people going that route, say yes. And then when you get done here, yes, tap into that GI Bill. And now you can, and that GI Bill covers a lot of it, not just, tuition, but if you need books or housing or anything related to your secondary education, that covers it, and it's pretty good stuff.
It's a fantastic program. I know from firsthand experience.
Absolutely.
I saw my husband go through it, and my God, once he got out of the military, I think we panicked. We're like, how are we going to pay rent?
Sure.
And then
hello GI Bill.
Hello GI Bill. Yeah, especially when we were living in California, it was terrifying. But yeah, it was somewhat painless, and we got through it.
Absolutely,
so.
It is by far. If you're gonna, if you're willing to sign up to serve your country, take advantage of the perks that come with that. And the GI Bill is absolutely one of those. The $1,200 that you're spending, I know it's a lot to bite into when you're 17 or 18, but it will definitely serve you well the rest of your life. That's going to be the best $1,200 you ever spent.
What I love, though, is like some of those people that were in the military, they can just easily go into the trades and get their certification. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, depending on your job in the military, too. A lot of that experience kind of counts towards degrees in certain places. And of course, if you have some of that, when you register at ENMUR, talk to the counselors, talk to stuff. They can maybe see what translates into towards a degree plan that you're already pursuing already. So.
Yeah. And absolutely,
again, have those conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Because, that takes a process. You got to go through the VA. And, if you start that process now, right now is May, by the time you get into school and the VA gets through and getting done with that situation.
All the planets should align perfectly.
Yeah, it should perfectly work out well.
Yes, government operation is slow. It'll never be. It's supposed to be thorough, and the trade-off is it's slow.
Right. Yeah.
But that being said, please, reach out. But this is the time. And then, of course, if you don't have those military connections, sign up. And then the next thing you need to do is walk into the financial aid office, get your FAFSA form put together.
Yes.
And once that's done, that's your golden ticket to basically financial aid, whether you want to apply for grants or scholarships. Any of that stuff. Without that FAFSA form, you can't do that. And I encourage you, because this is what the financial aid office does. This is what they got a group of people in there, and all they're doing is turning over rocks, finding money for people. Put them to work for you.
Absolutely. My gosh.
So get your FAFSA form filled out and everything, and let them see, because I don't care what your background is, your financial status is, where you come from, what you're wanting to do, what you're going to do. There is some money out there that they'll give, people are willing to give you to go to school.
It's literally your golden ticket.
Absolutely.
You have to do it.
And then you can check boxes, like if you're a spouse of a veteran, or if you're going for a teacher degree, or if you just happen to be from a certain part of the country.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. There's free money out there.
Yeah, you never know what you can apply. What you qualify for. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. So please. Do that next, because if we can get as much other people paying for your schooling as possible. Let's do that. That's how you play the game.
The ENMUR Foundation has several scholarships that not many people apply for. So there's literally money sitting in the foundation.
Exactly, there's money every year that just sits
waiting,
and no one claims it or utilizes it. And so we're telling you, you might qualify for some of this. You never know till you find out.
Yeah, and of course, seniors, if you're retired and you want to try something new, go for it.
And that's the thing I love too, is that's what the beauty of ENMUR is if you're trying to get a degree and doing all that, but it's a community college. It's for everyone. If you just are, like you said, are retired and you're looking to maybe broaden your social circle or things you wanted to do, or, we have a lot of grandparents that are kind of, oh yeah, my grandkid, I'm gonna, we just had one a couple of years ago. One of the
Paul.
Yeah. That kind of stuff happens. But like you say, you're thinking, okay, my doctor says I need to get more active. Okay, let's sign you up for a PE class.
Yeah.
Out at the, maybe we can do one of the aerobics classes or weight trainings or whatever.
Absolutely.
Nutrition or something. Or maybe you're like, you know what, I always wanted to learn ceramics, or I always want to learn to paint, or I always wanted to. Or I love U.S. history. I'd like to take a history class.
Absolutely.
Come on down. Come have meet some people, and depending on the history class, you might be able to share some history in there. But anyway,
I was there. This is how it went down.
It's like I was in that one, but that's it. Really is a community college for everyone, and if you're trying to, and even if you're not pursuing a degree plan, but you're like, look, I'm trying to get a promotion at work. And I need to get this certification done. Come on down. The college can, they offer programs that help just this kind of, even if you're a small business owner trying to start a business, the offices and stuff are right there in the campus. You don't have to even be a student for some of this to take advantage of it. So, please, that campus is a community campus for all, students and just people who live here.
I remember the last time I was here, you were like, people need help like around the house. They can learn how to weld.
Exactly.
Or HVAC.
Exactly. Skills. I mean, these are skill sets that will follow you the rest of your life that you can, it was kind of unique. The former, was he vice president or president one time? Anyway, he used to come on the radio and talk all the time. And of course, he was going to be a professor and doctor at college, but when he went to school and all that, it was mechanics and all that. So, okay, like his day job has nothing to do with what he went to school for or initially, but he's like, now I change my own oil, I do my own mechanic work. You know what I mean? When I have a bigger issue, I know what they're talking about, and so that's what I mean is whatever you're learning, it will serve you someplace if you just
automotive. I think right now they got in a Tesla so that these automotive.
Oh, can they work on the EV stuff?
Yeah. So now they can work on electronic cars and also on regular cars as well. So now they know how to. I was like, isn't that just like? Don't you need to go to IT? Is that just like restarting the computer? But they're like, oh no, this is far more advanced. So the opportunity for students to leave and learn that is amazing.
Yeah, it is absolutely, and of course, with the proximity of where the college is located, there on the old Air Force Base, it's kind of situated perfectly for the whole aviation side with the championship air races coming. But of course, long before the championship air races coming, they have a great, AP mechanics and air. If you want to learn and work on airplanes and stuff, they have a great program there, and it's only getting bigger and better and bolder now that more of the community is kind of getting invested in that side of the
well,
thing. So.
They gave us a scholarship.
That's right. The races have offered free money for any future AP mechanics out there, basically.
It is a wonderful opportunity for anyone that's going into that direction.
I will tell you this. The only other way you're going to get an AP mechanics license for the same value is join the United States military.
Absolutely.
Go work for the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force. Or the Marines. They got some planes, too.
They all got them.
Yeah. But go. That's the only other way, and that's going to require a little bit more than filling out a scholarship application.
And of course, thanks to the people of Roswell and Travis County, we got that. We won that GI Bill, and we were not GI Bill, the bond.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we worked on the bond.
That's right.
But we got the bond, and so now we're going to get that extension on that hangar. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to start here soon.
So this is all pointing, where this campus is. There's a lot going on. So if you're looking to be a part of it, come take a class. Yeah. If you're ready to go for the degree, or if you're trying to get to that next step in your job, ENMUR has got all the resources you need for that.
And a great way for everyone to come and see what we have.
Yeah.
We got Eastern Day coming up.
Yeah, we got, this is cool. And this is where you can kind of see the whole Eastern umbrella. Because, obviously, here in Roswell, folks are focusing more on the Roswell campus. But here's the part where they can incorporate the entire Eastern umbrella into your degree plan. So, like if there's classes here that you can easily go up to Portales and take or take online. So if you're pursuing your bachelor's degrees or something more than that, you can see the whole Eastern umbrella and how it can help you do that. That's what kind of one Eastern Day is.
Yeah, so Eastern Day, it's going to start at 4 p.m. It's going to go up to 9 p.m. We have live entertainment.
It's kind of a party or kind of a party, little shindig.
But you're going to get to learn about all of the systems universities. Obviously, we're going to have all of our programs out there. We have 20 tables just for our campus.
Nice.
That is going to go out there. You have the welding that welding simulator, so you can actually go there and you can kind of do it.
Bust out a weld or line here too. Yeah.
And so all of our programs are going to be out there, and of course, ENMU Portales is going to be out there with their programs.
Sure.
We have Ruidoso's coming in, and so they're going to show off their programs.
So it's the entire Eastern system that's going to be on
the entire system, and then there's live music, and then of course we have the inflatable bouncy houses.
Yeah, I think Grupo Maldad they'll be playing.
Be our headliner.
Kind of a local favorite around here.
We do have our local schools, our local music bands are going to come in from RSD, and they're going to entertain us for a little bit too. And of course, we got food trucks. We have the whole. It is a party. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And what's put the date and location time?
So it will be,
I don't have it in front of me, and that's why I don't. I've been saying it for a month, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
So this is actually going to be right behind the Student Services Building.
Yes, on the campus there.
Yeah, so it'll be May 1st from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it should be on social media here soon.
Oh yeah, it's all over, and I know we've been running ads for it for about a month or so here. I just brain cramped. I was like, what's the date and time again? But it is May 1st, and come on down to the campus and basically follow the music in your nose and all that, and you can see the gathering. Between the food smells and the music going, you'll be able to find it pretty easy.
Definitely go to our website. We have a map of how this thing is going to be laid out.
Good deal.
So I'm still measuring out tables in that area. I'm like, are we all going to fit? Sure. We will. It's a really nice, decent area.
And you can basically meet, because I think the chancellor and everyone from the Portales campus will be down. Ruidoso, like you said.
Yeah.
So if you want to really meet the leadership and all this, the folks that make the Eastern system go, they're all going to be here. And that's great. You can also learn a little bit more about too. Like I get it. If you're a high school kid and you want that traditional college experience with the like fraternities and that kind of life.
Oh, yeah.
Portales has got all that for you. That's where you can go. But I get it. If sometimes, even though you're 18, you still like the creature comforts of home. Laundry, mom and dad making food, that isn't like,
you're not,
something. Yeah.
You're not living off the ramen. I totally did that.
And so maybe like, well, maybe I'll do a year or two in the Roswell and then transfer up and finish my bachelor's there in Portales. And guess what? And the beauty, and this is where New Mexico got smart. Not only is this part of the Eastern system, but any college in New Mexico, basically your basics, your math, the classes that everybody needs to complete a degree plan, they transfer seamlessly into any university in the state of New Mexico. So obviously from ENMUR to ENMU Portales is simple, but say you're like, okay, now I've got my bachelor's in Portales. I want to go pursue a doctorate at UNM or New Mexico State. No problem. We can shift that over here very easy. Pick it up and everything transfers and bot to bot. Or, life happens, you move or something, you meet somebody and, I get that. As soon as you meet a loved one, a future spouse, your plans go out the window. Oh my
gosh. Finish your school first before you do all that. I got lucky. At least I finished before I did all that,
But I get that. Life happens sometimes. And so things change. And the good news is when it comes to your college career in New Mexico, it moves with you just seamlessly. So.
Yeah. I mean, I did the same thing. I was here for 2 years and then I moved on to Portales and it saved me a ton of money. My student loans were not that big.
Gotcha. But still, every bit's.
Yeah.
Again, this is why we say after you're done registering, go to the financial aid office so we can divert as much of that cost. And I will tell you this now. Yes, you're going to save a lot of money by going, where you go to college. When it, like I said, it's if you need English, you need math, you're going to need that wherever you go. Just saying, you go down the street, you're going to pay half the price per credit course for that than say if you go to Albuquerque or some other place around the state for that exact same class.
Just how much longer do you want to pay your student loans?
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. It's like this is, and I'm telling you, big difference. Like double, even triple the cost of that college course at Eastern Roswell versus some other 4-year institution around the state. It's going to be that much more expensive. So learn more about it May 1st here at One Eastern Day. Come and talk.
It's perfect because then when you go, you have fun. You get some food in you, and then you meet all these people. Then you can go and register for these classes. I mean, a lot of people are apprehensive about doing it. So when you talk to somebody in such a nice and casual setting, that might.
Well, you get to see the possibility there. Like a website and all that's wonderful, and you see pictures, but till you talk to people, to see the personalities, to feel like that's how you feel a part of it, if that makes sense. Otherwise you're just on the outside looking in.
Absolutely.
You're basically looking through a window instead of being in the room with them. So.
Yeah.
And that really is. So come out and come enjoy the music, come have some food, come just, see campus life.
Yeah.
And then if you're saying, you know what, this is my home. This is where I want to do. This is what I want to do for the next few years. Let's push that. Or you know what? No, I'm ready to move to Portales tomorrow. That's the beauty of this. Or you know what? I found my boyfriend, girlfriend in Ruidoso. I could start my classes there at the Ruidoso campus and work the summer at the racetrack or whatever but whatever your goals are. The college is here to kind of help fix or help be a part of that. So.
Yeah,
and that's what the Eastern Days.
And if you already have all that and you're looking for a job, we have the career fair April 24th. From 10 to 2.
Very good.
So come by.
That'll be that Friday. Is that the last
Thursday.
Friday of the month? Thursday. That's
Thursday.
right. 20th is Friday. That's my birthday.
Yeah.
That's one
happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not going to see you then, but happy birthday.
Well, if I have my druthers, I'm going to take that day off. I'm not, but I want to really bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that'll be that Thursday. And then, and I imagine, and this is what I like about these is it's because it's such partner, and this is where the college and
the community.
with the school, they really partner, and the curriculum that comes out of the college really is dictated by community needs. I mean, yes, there's always going to be a math class and an English class, but the automotive thing is really because of the need in our community for mechanics and everything. Yeah. We had to ramp that up and boost the
nursing.
Nursing program because demand is so high for that. So really it's, that being said, but this is where the career fair is great. I know I was getting off stride because this is, again, partnering with the communities. And I'm sure at the same time, while you have your career fairs, you're talking to these businesses. what needs can we meet? Like what kind of training, what kind of employees are you looking for? And can we meet those needs at our campus or in our umbrella of school?
Yeah, it's definitely an annual event, and it's great for the community to come out and show off their business.
Yeah.
And for anyone that's looking for a job, even our students that are done and they're ready to move on, whether they're going to go to Portales or any other university to finish a bachelor's, or they're done.
They can lock in a job there,
or they can lock it in, and I love that because.
I want to conversely on the other side. Is there still openings if you're a person that would like to be a member at the, like if you're a business or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if all the tables were full.
Oh no, we could, we need you.
So I'm saying not only do we want people to come out and look for jobs, but if you'd like to offer your services or you'd like to get in on the job hunt here because you're looking for some quality candidates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Come reach out and talk to Martha, and let's see if we can get you a table or get you a spot there.
Yeah, you can call 575-624-7372.
Very good.
And then, of course, we are going to have a guest speaker coming in from out of state. That's Daniel Siddiqui.
Okay.
So he...
So that name sounds like I've heard that name before, I feel like.
So he, speaking of graduating, so this guy couldn't find a job after graduating.
Okay.
And so what he did was he kind of hopped to each state looking for like a random job.
Okay.
And he became like the Where's Waldo of the United States.
Okay. So maybe that's where I kind of maybe come across like a social media and stuff.
Yeah. So he's a pretty cool figure. So I'm excited to kind of see what he's got to say because, that does happen sometimes.
Well, and that's the beauty of the world, and it's there's so many things that are similar, but then you go from one part of our own country to another, and things are different, done differently,
Absolutely.
and different culture, different
different
way of life, and so so I love those kind of things. So
I'm a true testament of that. Where
Yeah.
I went to the East Coast and did not get a job for a while. I ended up going for my master's because I was like, well, I have a ton of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Let me do something else.
Sure.
So.
And yeah, you're right. And I grew up East Coast. Like I'm from Maryland, DC. So military brought me to New Mexico.
Right.
And I'm telling you right now, how we live out here is not the same as how growing up in DC. I mean, and like I said, you spent time on the West Coast too, and that's another different animal than the East Coast. So it's where it's like if you think West Coast and East Coast are similar, it's like in a couple things, but they're night and day different too.
Oh my gosh!
It's and then you come to New Mexico,
and it is like mellow.
And I'm going to tell you another thing: go up to the Pacific Northwest. That's a whole nother experience.
Oh,
then go
I love
hang
it
out
up there.
hang out in the Great Lake region. That's a whole nother different experience.
Gosh.
And then you get down to Alabama and the Creole and that area. That's a whole nother thing going on there too. And then don't forget your Kansas, Missouri. That's a whole nother experience. But it's life is different and everything, and from creature food, comfort foods to the mindset of how to go to point A to point B.
Yeah,
it's different mindsets and things. And that's the cool part of America. Once you, I mean, it starts all the Twitter battles, but in the real deep creamy, that's
Get off social media.
Yeah. The deep creamy that's what makes America great, is that melting pot of unique experiences where you can literally go an hour north and they speak a different language,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's English, but it's not the same English you speak.
Can I sit in here? Yeah. No, it's so true though. It's so true.
Yeah. That's America.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. So it sounds like this guy's got a lot of experience in that aspect.
I'm so excited for the students to hear him because, not to scare people, but it does happen. I'm a true testament to that, where I had to figure it out. But,
sure.
I think it hopefully it gives them hope too, that it's not the end, just because you don't hit the home run right after.
And for younger people, you're kind of supposed to do that. Like where I'm at now, and I'm, as a guy in my 50s, and I'm, I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right because I went places. I did things. I got in trouble, and I got in situations where I was like, oh man, you need that to get here.
For sure.
And the only way you can do that is live a little. You got to go and see the world a little bit. You do have to go. I mean, I'm not trying to say but those folks that I hear sometimes, like, I've never left the state of New Mexico. I never left the state. I'm like, I mean, that's your life, and God bless you if that's you're happy, but you are missing so much different cool things of humanity by doing that.
I talked to quite a bit of students, and they're like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm like, get out of the state and
go
go
visit.
explore, go see, and then come back.
Yeah, then come back. Yeah, absolutely. But you got to see how the world is, and
Life's too short.
See life through a different lens.
Absolutely.
And because that makes you better in your own. It makes you more accepting. It makes you understand. I'm telling you, we would not have the battles that we have if people just sometimes looked outside themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's and seeing the world and seeing how other people live teaches you how to do
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that. Highly recommend.
Absolutely. I
know we got a different soapbox there.
Sure. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what happens when we get together, though. I love it, though.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is what we're doing. I mean, we're just you're looking to, if you're spinning your wheels, you're looking for your what you want to do with your life, and you're not sure. Eastern is, whether it's Portales or Ruidoso or here in Roswell, let Eastern maybe help you find that niche, find your passion, find your place in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's all about. And if you think you found it already and you want to find a different one, that's another one too. Because I get it too. I'm hitting that point in life where I'm gonna be like, I'm tired of doing this and I want to try something else. And if you're hitting that point in the world, where you're like, now I want to go see the world. I want to travel, or I want to learn, do a skill that I've never been able to do. I've always wanted to learn to cook. I couldn't cook my whole life. Now I want to learn to cook. All right, let's use the college for that. For that tool to help you learn that thing you always wanted to do, or experience the thing you never got to experience.
Social media has a lot of people that are learning, are adult learners learning new things that they've always wanted to do when they were younger.
Yeah.
And
a YouTube video can find you a lot, but it's not going to get you the.
You need to physically go in somewhere and learn it, hands-on.
If you try to repair a pipe, you might be able to get a YouTube video to do that. But short of that, if you want to learn to cook or want to be a plumber, a YouTube video will not teach you how to do that.
Water should not be spouting at this point when you have a whole waterfall happen. Then what?
I've seen this video. That only gets you so far. Yeah. But that's what. But the whole point is, Eastern's part of the community, part of your life. If you're looking to make your future brighter, please come out to one Eastern Day. That's a good start. If you're looking to start, come to the college here on May 1st. I'm sorry, what time again is everything getting underway?
4 to 9.
4 to 9. Yeah. Get on out there and come meet some people. Come learn about everything that Eastern New Mexico University offers you. Whether it's here in Roswell or in Portales or Ruidoso, and come be a part of it. So.
Come have some food and dance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it.
I know we're running short on time. I think wasn't there a couple other events we definitely want to put on people's radar? I know I get sidetracked.
No, I don't know.
Or did we cover them all?
We pretty much covered them all. I mean, we have graduation May 9th, and our adult ed graduation's May 8th.
Excellent.
I mean, we're barreling down this road. Today is the 8th. It's a 1 month. I mean, I'm going to blink and it's going to be here.
Right.
It's terrifying.
And I know with graduation here, you're going to have to do it in waves because obviously the spring's the bigger graduation. I mean, they have this one's kind of the one that most people, like the bigger numbers, graduate.
Well, it's such a bummer. We couldn't do it at the Civic Center.
Yeah.
And we're really hoping that the city and everyone can, just have their.
But now we're going to have a bunch of intimate graduations.
Yeah. What's great is that we have 3 different graduation speakers this time from each college.
It's more. So it's more intimate, but more stuff. So it's really, I think it's kind of cooler, to be honest. I kind of I mean, there's something to be said about when you got a million people in one room and they're just calling a name like a factory.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. That's because it's kind of neat to be in that big scenario, but you're honoring a very personal thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's better when you got a smaller group doing it.
Yeah. With our 3 speakers, it's from each college, and there is one I nominated, and she is, and she's a girl graduating from aviation.
Okay.
And she's actually going through to Portales and finishing up her aviation bachelor's degree.
Nice.
And she wants to join the Air Force. And I just thought,
you gonna be a pilot, or what's her?
She's fixing planes and she's gonna be a pilot.
Okay.
And so when I was working on the
she's gonna nightmare for those crew chiefs.
She's gonna be amazing.
She's gonna be a nightmare because she's gonna actually know because I'm telling you, as a guy that was on the other side, pilots, they know how to fly planes, they know how to work planes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so with her knowledge, she's going to be able to say that's not,
Her story was so amazing and so touching to me. If you go back to the GeoBond marketing material there, she was in one of the large planes, and then she just stuck her head out and waved. I was like, oh, do it again. And her story touched me. So I was like, she has to be a speaker. And luckily she got through. She got a couple nominations. So
awesome.
I'm
Good
looking
for her.
forward
Well,
to seeing her
we'll
speak.
see I'm very curious where she ends up. She gonna, where she ends
Hopefully
up in the military.
they're Air Force is what she said. But let's see.
Oh yeah, well she'll be an officer.
Oh yeah.
But I'm very curious what she ends up like if she flies fighter pilot, fighters, or
right?
does she fly the cargo planes, the big heavies, or what direction she goes with?
Well, we're hoping, we have our alumni association, so hopefully we will keep tabs on her. 'Cause I definitely want to see where she goes.
And where she ends up,
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the planes and things she works on. That'll dictate where she goes. If she ends up on the heavies, more likely she'll probably be stateside. But if you put her in a fighter, she can end up anywhere.
I just don't. I definitely want to be one of those people that's like, "How are you doing?" Like 3-4 years, I'm like, "How are you doing?" I wasn't a teacher, but I remember your story.
Sure.
But
Well, but that's the part of it is everyone. It's you connect. You can you make connections. You make friends. You make
love it.
Sometimes little mini brothers and sisters and moms and dads. Sometimes that's just kind of what it feels like.
I have students come to my office and they hang out with me and they want to know what's going on. So there's a connection there. So
absolutely. So come be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start May 1st.
Yes,
come to one Easter
absolutely.
Day and meet the team and meet the family and meet everybody.
Absolutely.
Roswell.enmu.edu is the website. You can go there right now, register for fall, summer and fall classes right now. And you can also start the paperwork if you can, your application process, and then come on down to the college. Now's a great time if you want to register and get, if you want to, especially want to take classes in the summer or fall. Now's a good time to come to the campus and register. It's very easy. To get accepted at ENMUR. Doesn't you don't have to do an SATs and do all the gamma and get your high school. You don't do all that stuff. Just got to roll in and fill out an application, basically.
Or call 575-624-7000.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's get the process going. And who knows? Maybe this is the start of the thing that changes the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And everyone has these moments in life, and they look back. This was the thing that set me on the path. Maybe this is that moment. You heard a thing on the radio. You came to a meeting, and next thing you know, you're a chef or whatever your passion is.
And the marketing director's probably going to stalk me after I graduate.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Martha, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mike.
We'll see you guys
so
next time, and holler if we can do anything.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike.
Anytime.
All right.
8:55. We got time for a little news and a little sports, and then a little more news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now, with your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A public meeting in Roswell for the annual Community Development Block Grant disbursements. The state of New Mexico will be giving out more than $137 million through the CDBG program to support long-term disaster recovery in communities impacted by severe storms, floods, and wildfires. Residents can provide input by attending an in-person public meeting tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. at ENMU Roswell's Occupational Technology Center. And a second meeting will be Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at ENMU Ruidoso. The oil and gas industry will continue in New Mexico without restricting new state laws. After the legislature's 60-day biannual session ended, no new laws were enacted involving the oil and gas industry. That's not for trying, though. Some bills were introduced involving keeping new wells away from schools, keeping habitual rule breakers and financially risky companies and people from buying wells, increasing state fees and penalties to match the rate of inflation, and codifying the state's much-touted methane regulation rules. All bills were either voted down or undebated. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We got some baseball action going on today. The Roswell Coyotes playing at home against Artesia. That starts at 5 o'clock. Roswell is 7-9, and they've their last game was a 6-5 victory at Santa Fe on Friday. They've won 3 in a row. Meanwhile, Artesia is 10-5 overall. Goddard baseball, by the way, they'll be playing tomorrow at Clovis. That's a 5 o'clock start. NMMI playing at East Mountain District action today. That starts at 3 o'clock. NMMI 9-5, 3-0 in district. East Mountain 11-5, and 2-0 in league play. The Colts have won 3 in a row. Their last outing was a 13-3 over Sandia Prep last Tuesday. Dexter playing at home against Bosque this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Gateway Christian yesterday defeated Elida 14-4. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that means pretty nice conditions for us. We'll hit about 80 for the afternoon high today. Maybe a little breezy, but not bad. Wind at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, and we get sunshine all day. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, mid to upper 40s, and then getting pretty warm on Wednesday. We're expecting upper 80s and sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay, only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone, get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires in 1 month.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Wall Street comes roaring back. The Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P are up almost 3% or more after a recent sell-off inspired by fears of a trade war resulting from President Trump's tariff hikes. Former Trump economic advisor Stephen Moore suggests Trump tariff critics simply do not understand the art of the deal.
He's using the threat of these higher tariffs to force these other countries to lower their tariffs. And if this works, and I think it will, although it's been painful for the last week seeing the market go down so much, at the end of the day, we could have freer and fairer trade, which will benefit everyone around the world.
More on the Salem Radio Network. Japan among countries seeking trade talks with the U.S., while China remains defiant, and that's prompting the president to threaten additional 50% tariffs on Chinese imports. One top House Republican says she's committed to helping the president with his economic program.
House GOP Conference Chair Lisa McClain of Michigan says the president's tariff strategy is already bearing fruit.
It's been a week. I think you already see people coming to the table.
McClain says there's no question the tariff war will cause some short-term pain, but also says the downside has been overblown by some in the media.
Somebody predicted, oh my God, it's going to be a Black Monday today, though. I think, how'd the Dow close? A point up.
McClain can be the small group of reporters here to share her thoughts on everything from tariffs to the budget and future leadership in the House. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
The Supreme Court has spoken, ruling the Trump administration has the right to deport illegal aliens under the Alien Enemies Act. It's been a deadly roof collapse, a nightclub in the Dominican Republic. At least 18 people killed, more than 120 others injured. And on Wall Street, the Dow is up more than 1,000 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Iran and the United States will be holding talks in Oman this coming weekend, an attempt to jumpstart negotiations over Tehran's rapidly expanding nuclear program. Even before the talks, though, there is a dispute over exactly how the negotiations will go. President Trump insists there'll be direct negotiations. However, Iran's foreign minister says there'll be indirect talks taking place through a mediator. South Korea will hold a snap presidential election June 3rd to choose Yoon Suk-yeol's successor after the conservative was ousted over his imposition of martial law late last year. The announcement from the acting president came 4 days after the Constitutional Court removed Yoon from office. The next president will serve a full 5-year term. The race likely to be a showdown between Yoon's People Power Party and South Korea's Democratic Party, which holds a majority in the National Assembly. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. The Met being sued by a former famed performer.
Mezzo-soprano Anita Rockvelashvili has sued the Metropolitan Opera and the union that represented her there. Rockvelashvili said the company unlawfully terminated her contracts because of a vocal issue that developed after she gave birth. The singer is also accusing the union of failing to pursue a grievance against the company. The 40-year-old singer from the European nation of Georgia says the Met owes her more than $400,000. Keith Peters, Washington.
Following days of unceasing downpours that swelled Kentucky's rivers to near record levels, residents are closely watching the waterways for signs that they're cresting or even receding in hopes that widespread cleanup can finally get underway. The death toll from the storms that pounded the South as well as parts of the Midwest has risen to at least 23. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Infiernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Indeed, happy Tuesday.
We made it to Tuesday.
It's looking pretty promising that Wednesday is going to come as well.
That's right. And the weather's doing just no complaints. That's the problem. We can't complain about the weather today. There's nothing to complain about. You're going to try that. Sounds like, hold on a minute.
I mean, there's plenty to complain about. I'm just trying not to. I just found out the parts that I need are prohibitively expensive, or more expensive than I thought they were going to be.
Uh-oh.
To get them in by tomorrow. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just $500. I don't have that right now.
Ooh.
I will have it Thursday. But, alas, I'm going to try to figure it out.
All right. Well, we'll get it.
Red Rider sits where it sits for the time being. I just got to figure it out before. Basically, I'm good until Thursday at about 2:30, because that's when kid's mom's going to be out of town, and I got to pick my son up from school. So
gotcha.
Once we get past that threshold, we'll be okay. But yeah, so here's where we find ourselves. But it's okay.
Well, we'll get her fixed.
I'll continue to depend on the kindness of the kind people.
Well, weather-wise, it's going to be great. That was the part. You can't complain about the weather.
Oh, no. The weather's fantastic.
There's nothing to complain.
Yeah, blue skies and sunshine.
Game on. But the weather, nothing to complain.
You know, it is nice that if you're going to have to be on foot, it at least feels like this outside, you know? This is nice walk and whistle.
You got to
weather.
hoof it. It is the good weather hoof.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. That's glass half full.
Yeah.
But happy Tuesday. Hope all of you are having a good day so far. We're going to talk Matanza Fest here in just a bit. So we're going to talk about food and stuff. So
yeah,
that's all good too. Speaking of food, I teased it last hour.
Yeah, see? Now this is delightful. This is
Can I offer you a cookie at this trying time?
Indeed. As long as it's not a quail egg.
So as if you listen to this show for any stretch of time, you know, we try foods when we see things on the shelves.
Sure.
That pique our curiosity from time. Things that are usually out of the normal or a extra limited edition thing that a various product or company will put out.
Sometimes I feel like product is only put out just so that people like us on shows can try it.
I'm pretty sure they're giving us content here. So I was scouring. I was in the grocery store over the weekend, and I hit the Oreo section, and I found these Oreos.
Okay.
And we've always had success with the Oreos.
Generally speaking, Oreos are pretty spot on.
Yeah.
There's been a couple that were missed. Like the Swedish Fish I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah. But mostly they're
for the most part,
pretty good. This one, Sean and I both love toffee candy.
Oh, so
like
much.
your Heath bars, your Score bars.
Score was my go-to as a kid.
Yeah, and so I saw a toffee crunch flavor cream Oreo, which I guess the camera's on me. I don't have the TV on. This bad boy. And you know what else I noticed? Family size.
Which
usually
means
when you get these limited edition ones,
they're like little packs.
there's a little. It's a.
So this is a big
pack,
boy.
but this one's So I hope these are good because there's a lot of them. so let's try these bad boys out.
All right.
Let me get to the patented seal remover.
Which, by the way, as an avid Oreo eater and my children as well.
I'm going to stick my nose here.
By all means.
Oh yeah, there's the Oreo smell.
Getting the toffee at all?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm going to go ahead.
Go ahead.
Jocelyn, John, you want a cookie? We'll get you one here.
Anybody?
Here,
Anybody
go.
cookie?
These are the Oreo toffee crunch ones.
Okay. Oh, I mean,
the cream is a.
Oh, the toffee is absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can get it there.
Okay.
The cream in the middle is definitely the. It is a toffee colored cream. It's
There's
not
more
white.
of it too. It's like almost like a double stuff.
Oh yeah. And yours looks like it's chunky.
They said it was. Oh, I pushed this up with my finger.
Oh, okay.
They said it was crunchy because it has like sugar crystals.
Yeah,
in it.
because it's got to have the crunch.
So.
All right, let's give it a try.
It smells like diabetes in a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Right away with the toffee. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Oh, there's the crunch.
And there's the crunch. Yep.
Because I'm missing the crunch.
Well,
there's the crunch.
You have to get rid of the cookie crunch first.
Mm-hmm. But you get the toffee crunch.
Oh, that is delightful.
Yeah, that's going to get... I'm glad they put the family size because that's all getting eaten. Yeah, if you like Oreos, you'll love these.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's a sweeter Oreo.
Yeah, it's definitely that. The toffee flavor is way more pronounced than I was expecting.
Mhm.
Sometimes the chocolate cookie takes over. Usually these are better served with like a golden Oreo, but the chocolate works perfectly with this.
I like them all day. And I'll eat the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm eating a Score bar. I don't feel any of that.
It's not quite to that level.
Like the sweetness level is almost like not cream cheese frosting, but the butter frost, whatever the frosting is used.
Buttercream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good. It's definitely one you're gonna need some milk with.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of beverage because
the water ain't doing it.
Yeah. Whew. And it's one of those that I'm good. I'm not gonna sit and eat a pack of those.
You know what though? You're right. Give me a glass of milk and I'm not gonna sleeve out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to row out if there's some milk.
I'll tell you this. It's hard to justify spending the amount of money that the Girl Scouts are asking for their cookies. That being said, I could sit and eat an entire box of caramel delights in a sitting.
Yes.
But these,
especially now that there's only like 8 in there or something.
right? Yeah. Now featuring air.
Yeah.
But these are definitely one that you're like, okay, every now and again I'll have one like before bed or something. If I'm
like, I think if you started, you know what you need to do is just get a big old bowl, kind of like your Skittles.
Mm-hmm.
Just grab various types of Oreos and dump them in there and throw those in the mix. That would be good.
You know what? You're not wrong. And then just put it out for guests.
Exactly.
Cookie.
Could be a double stuff. Could be a chocolate cream. Could be watermelon. I don't know. It's just, well, you'll see when you pick it up. But, you know.
Put that blindfold on and reach in that bowl.
Yeah.
This is a weird experience, Sean.
Oreo roulette, if you will. All right. Let's talk more food.
Yes.
John's going to be back with us, talk Matanza Fest. We'll talk that here. Of course, we're just weeks away. We're now in April, folks. So we're officially weeks away from Matanza Fest. So we'll talk with John here in just a bit. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that means pretty nice conditions for us. We'll hit about 80 for the afternoon high today. Maybe a little breezy, but not bad. Wind at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, and we get sunshine all day. It'll be clear for the overnight hours, mid to upper 40s, and then getting pretty warm on Wednesday. We're expecting upper 80s and sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds currently out of the east, 3 miles per hour. We're looking at 80s all week. 81 and sunny today with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Like I said, no complaints. Mostly clear tonight, 43 for an overnight low. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Sunny on Wednesday, warmer tomorrow, 88 for a high with northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. So tickling 90, but not quite. Wednesday night, clear with an overnight low of 49 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Back into low 80s on Thursday, sunny and 82. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Sunny and 81 on Friday. And then we jump into the 90s for the weekend. 93 on Saturday. 91 and sunny on Sunday. All right. It is 9:15. We're going to take a 3-minute break. And then John's going to join us on the other side, and we'll talk all about Matanza Fest. That's coming up just a few weeks away. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock and back in studio to talk Matanza Fest. John, I always butcher his last name, Erard? Erard. I think I want to go French that time. I don't know what.
Like Gerard without a G.
In my head, it just doesn't. It just. I don't know. It's certain words just come. But John's back with us.
Mike, you're the first one that's ever butchered my name.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I be proud? Everyone's smarter than me. I've already known that one. But yeah, I'm sure you've dealt.
Yeah.
Well, it's for pull back a curtain real quick. Is Winters is a radio name. My last name is Sisson. It's been that's my people that listen.
Oh,
know,
really?
and
Interesting.
But that name has been butchered. Teachers in school call me Season. When I was in basic training for Air Force,
yep,
my drill instructor for the entire time of basic training, with the exception of the last week when they finally figured out that I was going to pass and not a complete bag of crap, he would call me. He'd say, Season, Scissorhead, whatever the blank your name is, get over here. And that's literally how he addressed me for the entire basic training.
How nice. What a pleasant experience that must have been.
So I feel your pain.
Thank you. But after a while, you get used to it.
Exactly. But don't worry about that stuff. What I want folks to do is May 10th. Mark it on your calendars. The first annual, and I'm saying annual because this is the first of many, our regional Matanza Fest will be happening right here at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. This is your chance to brag and the family recipes, the things that you've been talking about for years. Now it's game on. Now the time to put your money where your mouth is. And let's see if yours can stack up in the competition.
See what a jury of 5,000 to 10,000 people think of your cooking.
Absolutely. And this is so the family recipes. Come on out. This is the thing about Matanza Fest. It's for people that live here and grew up here. This is very much part of the culture, the tradition. This dates back to Spaniards and this is history even before Declaration of Independence and American history here. This is early American history. This ain't U.S. history. This is American history. And
a bit of Spanish history.
Exactly. This is the Americas. This is the founding of this country and the people that came here and how they got here and all the things. That's what Matanza Fest is, and it really celebrates that culture of the Spaniards and the Latin culture coming into New Mexico and coming into the U.S.
Oh, absolutely, and take it past that to think about how it began and what it was. It was a harvest. It was time when the harvest was done.
Like Thanksgiving.
It was like a Thanksgiving. The celebration began, and it started out as a way to put food up for the winter, and then it turned into a community event where people, they'd slaughter a hog, they'd feed the entire community.
Yeah, because you can't eat. That's the problem with pig. You can't just, your family ain't gonna. You got to invite friends.
It's tough to eat a 300-pound hog in one
Just
sitting.
say it. You need friends when you got one of those.
Yes, you do. You need a lot of friends.
And hence Matanza Fest.
And hence we hope and we believe 5,000 to 10,000 friends are going to come.
Yeah.
And be the judges of cooking.
Yeah.
And we're going to have trophies. We're going to have recognition. And perhaps most importantly, whoever wins is going to have bragging rights.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, now it's game on,
Yeah.
Just saying, if you want to take this to the next level, this is kind of setting the stage for that. But really, the Matanza Fest is so much more. It's going to be a car show. There's going to be music. It's a party.
Oh, yes.
It's a big party at the fairgrounds all day, surrounded by this delicious pig.
And let us not forget the vendors and the food trucks.
Oh, absolutely. So if pig's not your game, there's going to be plenty of other stuff.
That's right.
And
If you prefer something else, it'll be there.
This event will, your elote, your street corns and all that will work perfect in this event too. And that'll go parallel with the pig.
Parallel with the pig. I'm going to remember that. I don't know how I'll use it, but that's a good one.
It will parallel with the pig.
It was parallel with the pig.
But yeah, this is about eating and family and celebrating and coming and just...
And community,
yes,
and culture,
it's a community.
It's culinary. It's all kinds of things wrapped into one.
And this is what I love about it. For people that are born and raised and this is where you grew up and everything, this is going to be home, just reminding you home and reminding you what it is. For folks that are transplants here, people that came here, like I'm one of those. I've been here 20 plus years, so I'm I got roots now, but I've learned the culture and learned things over there, and you learn it by experience and by going to the festivals, to hanging out at the Chili Cheese Fest and hanging out at these events and things like that. And this is another one. Come out to Matanza Fest. You want to learn the culture. You want to eat some delicious food. You want to see, and this is the great part about it, is you're going to eat 100 different ways to eat this, and they're all going to be unique in their own special way, because every family, yes, there's similarities because of Matanza Fest is the way they cook the pig and stuff is traditional, and like you're not going to have somebody butterflying it one and they burying it the next. There's a traditional way they do it, but the difference is what seasonings go in there, the length they cook it, the temps, the times. That's where the devil's in the details, so to speak.
Mike, you are making me hungry.
And so
here's the interesting thing, though. I was born and raised in Mexico City.
Okay.
Lived there for 23 years
Gotcha.
before I immigrated. I'd never heard of a matanza.
Well, that seems like a country thing. And Mexico City is anything but country.
Well, that is true.
It is arguably, I think, it's right behind New York City and the largest cities in the world.
It's one of the largest ones, no question about it.
Yeah.
Came to New Mexico. I've lived here for many, many, many years, 20 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
And I just happened to hear about it from Hess Eintema.
Okay.
He had been at the Matanza up in Valencia County.
Okay.
And he said, are you going to go to the Matanza? What?
Yeah, what?
What is a Matanza?
Wait, to be honest, the first time I heard about Matanza and all that, ironically, it was a TV show on the Food Network.
Really?
Yes. I was watching, there's a guy, Andrew Zimmern. Yeah, he does a show called Bizarre Foods. That's where he got famous. He's got other offshoot shows that are like that, and one of them is he came, I can't remember, it was up north. I don't know if it's Santa Fe or Taos or could have been the Matanza Fest you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he came and did like his show where he showed them the traditions of Matanza Fest, the different ways they cook, the cooking of the chicharrones, all that stuff. He was showing that on there, and it's I can't remember if it was Bizarre Foods, the actual show. It's one of his shows. And maybe it was called Bizarre Foods America. I think he did an American version.
His programs are very interesting.
Yeah, they are. And so there is one episode where he kind of highlights and focuses on Matanza Fest that I happened to catch a couple years ago on Food Network.
Well, I'm going to write his name down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to reach out to him.
And so when you came to me talking about this, I was like, oh, I have a little bit of knowledge here. I've never participated in one, but I saw a thing about this, and I know all about the tradition and kind of learned because they were telling Andrew about the traditions and just and for them it was all about those chicharrones. They were focusing on that during the segment. And
you keep saying that magic word. I'm beginning to drool.
Yeah, they were not shy about it. But exactly what you were talking about. It was showing that community and just everyone gathering at dark 30 to start cooking these pigs and getting everything going, and just as the day progresses. And that's really what it is while you're waiting for the meat to cook, you're having the music and having the festival and the car show and all the fun stuff. And then it's like, all right, soup's on, and we all start eating.
Let's go.
That's right. But then I guess for judging, is it kind of, how's that going to work? Like guests come in to get a little sample, and then you vote on your favorites kind of thing?
Well, it's going to work a couple of ways.
Okay.
Each category, there are going to be five different categories.
Okay.
Now think about this: if we have 15 teams, every judge to judge one dish has to take 15 bites at minimum.
It's a lot of eating.
Yes. That's a lot of eating.
As a guy that has, I actually years ago, I went and got certified by the Kansas City Barbecue Society to be a KCBS judge. I took a class, the whole deal, and then I judged a couple of the Artesia ones they did years ago.
Yeah,
and I know exactly what you speak. It's a fun job, but it's a job. Like it's when you join it and you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of great meat and all that. Yeah, it sounds great on paper till you sit down and you do it. And you're like,
yeah.
And then your belly tells you otherwise.
So you've got 15, you've got at least 15 bites. And if you didn't get it the first time and you wanted to...
You need a second bite.
Now you need a second bite, and you've got a certain amount of time that you've got.
Sure.
They calculate something like 3 to 5 seconds.
And generally they're grading it on different. Like usually, I know for the Kansas City Barbecue, it's probably something similar. I mean, tenderness, taste, those are usually the appearance, the way it looks, the way it tastes, but also the way it's cooked. If it's cooked properly, those are generally something along those lines. Are
the aroma?
Yeah.
We have a judging sheet that we're going to provide the judges.
Right. It gives the criteria what exactly they can judge on.
Absolutely.
And so but it's usually along those lines.
There's something like 6 criteria.
Yeah, and it's usually, they're all the same, but vary a little bit. And obviously with the Matanza, they probably features on, some of those things you're judging on is the spices and things. Are they proper ones for a Matanza fest, or do you just barbecue a pig?
No, that's a good point. There's a very heavy emphasis on tradition.
Sure.
And so we're not looking for fusion. We're not looking for, but then again, it's up to the judges. And
now, if you want to put it out there to try, I mean, that's entirely because at the end of the day, the public's going to be eating and everybody's eating. And so the judges are going to have criteria and they can judge, but that doesn't mean yours isn't not good. It's just not as traditional as what they're looking for.
And I mean, it could be that it's not traditional, but everybody loves it.
Exactly. It's like chili with beans. Everyone's like arguing beans and no beans. The day you're still eating chili. You're all pretty good. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? We can argue on semantics.
I'll take frijoles charros.
At the end of the day, we all, it's all pretty good. It's like even bad pizza is still pizza.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we will have 5 categories. For each category, 3 judges. Then the public themselves is going to judge the best of the teams, the people's choice.
Gotcha. The ones that have the criteria and are knowing exactly what to judge on, because I get it, the public. Some people, I don't like this seasoning, therefore you're not going to like this this particular piece of pig.
That's right.
But as a judge, you can't. Just because you don't like that spice doesn't mean you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure. You've got to judge it, and you've got to rank it.
It's kind of just because you don't like that ingredient doesn't mean that that's not acceptable for that thing. And so.
So here's my question to you: what would you like to judge?
I can judge meats, man. I don't. But the problem is I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I would definitely like to help out with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Now,
put me where you need me, I guess.
Well, I'll put you where you want. We've got chicharrones.
Okay.
We've got carne adobada.
Okay.
The pork and chili sauce. We've got carnitas.
Okay.
Are you familiar with carnitas?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'll judge carnitas.
All right, you're in on that one?
And we have pozole.
I do love a good pozole. But it's going to be May.
Dun, 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 dun.
You know what? Let's do pozole.
Okay.
I have a soft spot for pozole, and I do judge restaurants based on how good their pozole is. So that might be my in.
So to paraphrase Mike Espiritu, ladies and gentlemen, we have a judge.
There you go. That'll be fun. But
absolutely.
And now, actually, we shouldn't have done it off there, because now if the Fasoli people get mad about a decision, they're going to come at me and be like, I don't know, I was on Chicharrones, sorry. Just kidding.
Hey, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll back you up.
There you go. But folks, this is going to be a lot of fun. There's still time to sign up teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Please get signed up. And now, there is some prerequisites on being a team, because you are serving to the public. Therefore, you got to have all your health things up to speed and all that, and they'll tell you what you need when you sign up for that.
Absolutely. Don't worry about it. We've got the USDA on board, and we've got the New Mexico Environmental Department on board. And so we're going to hold classes and show you exactly what you need do to be safe. And,
to keep you legal and keep you safe.
Yeah, to keep it legal and to keep it...
And it's trust me, it's nothing with, because we know, what you guys are doing in your home kitchen just fine. It's just when it comes to serving to the public, there are rules and regulations that you cannot bend, you cannot fudge. And so we got to do that by the book. So.
And more than anything, it's oversight.
Absolutely. And it's all for the health and
They want to
safety.
make sure, and if they spot something, they'll let you know, and if not, it'll be just like cooking at home.
We just don't want to get anybody sick or anything like that. And that's all this, that's just to prevent all that stuff. So, yes, you will be asked to go through all that. But like you said, you guys will make sure they're prepped and everything. So there is no... Lack of knowledge will not be the problem on getting this.
Oh, absolutely not. There'll be plenty of guidance.
Yeah.
And the only thing we can't tell you is what that fifth category is going to be.
The secret category.
It's going to be a surprise.
Nice. Very good. Can you hint?
No.
Okay.
Not even
Not even like a part of the day one would eat this meal?
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Oh. I was trying to slip in see if I could get a dessert or something out of everybody. I was like, maybe it's a dessert. I don't know.
Not a scintilla of
so I tried, folks. I was trying to see if I could crack it. I was like, no, it's going to be dessert.
But it'll be a big reveal.
Good deal.
I think it's around noon where we're going to reveal that.
Okay.
We're going to have mystery baskets and all of that.
Good deal. In fact, I know we've been talking so much about the meat. We need to talk about the event here.
Yeah,
folks,
definitely.
it's going to be an all-day thing here, and like I said, there's going to be, the cooking competition is just, that's the main stage. But with the car show and the music and all that, it's going to be like a little festival all day long.
We're going to have kids area. We're going to have a beer garden.
Good deal.
We're going to have music all day long, beginning I believe like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Excellent.
We've got the 44th Army Band coming in, but it's it's the brass band. It's not the big band.
Nice.
But it's the brass band.
Gotcha. Probably that's more the marching guys and all that stuff with the brass and all that.
Yeah.
That portion of the band. I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we've got them coming down from Albuquerque. We've got DJs. We've got live music.
Nice.
Solo performers. And I think we're going to have one of my favorites. I don't even know the guy's name, but he was at the Alien Fest.
Okay.
And what he did was he just had an electric guitar. He had his guitar case and a drum pedal, and he hit the drum pedal against his guitar case and just put out some really interesting music.
Sometimes the best stuff is just those things you just stumble upon sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's kind of like the internet when you go and all of a sudden you see the street performer, you're like, holy cow, this is... You got Mozart sitting on the street corner here, you know.
Where did this guy come from?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I imagine a few of your local favorite bands are going to be taking the stage throughout the day.
Favorite bands, we're going to have. Oh man, let me tell you, we're going to have Así se baila, which is ballet folklórico.
That is the most, and I don't care if you've never seen folklorico in your life, go see folklorico. It is, to me, if you need I got to be honest. I don't think you could do folklorico on a CD or nothing. Like, you need to see folklorico to experience folklorico. you can't just listen to Folklorico. You got to see it, because the dancing and the dresses and the pageantry is almost the bigger deal in that. I mean, the music's traditional and it's beautiful, but at the end of the day, without the dancing, without the dresses, you're missing a whole section of Folklorico.
And you add on top of that, Saul Aguilar, right here in Roswell, is putting all of this together. He's going to bring charros. So these are the Mexican cowboys with the very, very fancy costumes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the big hats.
Okay.
And not only are we going to have charros backing up the Folklorico, we've got mariachis that are going to be playing for the...
So you're getting the whole experience there.
Oh, you're going to get a cultural...
Several layers of culture right there.
Oh, it's going to be a cultural experience like none other.
And all three of those are like their own history in and of itself. The mariachi on one side, the charros, and then, of course, Folklorico, now kind of melding it together a little bit. So that's kind of cool, too.
He's choreographing the whole thing.
Nice. That's cool.
It's going to be a wonderful show.
Excellent.
It really is going to be a great show.
It is. And, oh, by the way, if you leave hungry, that's your own fault, because there's going to be plenty of food, like you said, from the Matanza competition food to various other vendors and things. So if you still have your hankering for funnel cake, I'm sure you can find it out there.
And you can wash it down with an ice cold beer, or
hit the beer garden.
Or one of our sponsors is Pepsi.
Excellent.
And so there's going to be plenty of Pepsi products there that are going to be able to drink. We're trying to make this local. We're trying to make this our community, Matanza. And so the beer garden is going to be provided by Blackcock Brewery.
Excellent. Thank you. They of course, they got some great food and stuff. I go visit their establishment if you've never been in there. They got some great eats and drinks over there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be very unique, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and at the same time steeped in culture, steeped in culinary adventure.
And I think, and this is going to grow from here. Like, this is the first one.
Yes.
And there's going to be a ton of stuff, but as I envision, as the year progresses, it's going to get probably the size of what I'm thinking is like Eastern Mexico State Fair. Like, we're going to need the whole fairgrounds to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, we already are using 2/3 of it.
But I mean, the parking and everything too, where we're going to get, the crowds you see at fair that can maybe come out to Matanza Fest. That's what I think we're headed towards. And obviously, as this one goes successful, probably, who knows? Maybe it's a 2-day festival.
Or maybe even bigger.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the first one. So come and be a part. Come, if you're a car guy, you're going to be plenty of the car shows and all that stuff.
My goodness,
that's going to be there.
The car show is going to be spectacular. It's not just going to be an interesting car show. Spectacular. It's being put on by the Imperials.
Okay.
They're bringing cars in from all over the Southwest.
So some of their club cars and some of their friends and partners, too.
Look, there's a car called Nadine, and Nadine is a purple lowrider Cadillac. She's one of the most beautiful cars I have ever seen. And I showed several of these cars to my son.
Yeah, they're artwork more than cars at this point.
That's what he said. He said, Dad, those aren't cars. Those are works of art, and they are.
I will tell you this, and I wish I knew the history more, but I don't. If y'all ever get to go to D.C. and go to the American History Museum and go into their automotive section, they've got a little area, and they got... So one of Evel Knievel's bikes are in there.
Oh, cool.
I think one of Richard Petty's cars, and there's a couple of, but they've got this lowrider in there. And I don't remember the story. It's someone died, and so it's honoring someone's loved memory. And oh my gosh, I mean, every ounce of this car has attention to detail on it, from the paint job to interior to the steering wheel. You can't get that close to it, but it's got it kind of opened up, and they've got it tilted so you can kind of lean and look at it. And oh my God! So what you're talking about with the art, seeing it in this, of course, this one's in the Smithsonian, so it's level 70 on this. But this is what you're going to see out there, especially like you're talking about some of these cars. I got to be honest, I'd be scared to death to drive to any one of these cars for fear of messing them up, because they're so beautiful. I'm like, I'm scared to drive it on the road. is that road perfect? There ain't no pebbles, ain't no nothing on that road. I want to inspect the road before this car gets on it.
Exactly. I want a runway sweep.
Yes, I want the FOD walks like the military. Like I'm bringing those jets over. I want my car the same treatment right here. But yeah, you're seeing. But then you see, well, the other cool part is you see all levels of it. So you see that, but then you see folks that are just getting into the hobby or into the passion, depending on how you look at it. And so you see stages where you see folks that are just getting into it and they're learning. And then it's also if you're yourself, if you're looking for hanging out with car guys, and I don't care who the car guy is, where they come from. If you're a car guy, you love talking about cars. And if you want to talk cars with them, every one of them love to talk cars.
Well, listen, it goes even beyond that. They've got some of the just regular people that aren't car guys. One of them is bringing his DeLorean.
Oh, cool! So you get a few unique little Back to the Future flavor and everything else.
Absolutely, and the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds was kind enough to allow us to use their annex.
Okay.
And what they're going to do with the annex. Oh, by the way, I'll get back to the annex in a minute, but they're also going to open up the ice cream store.
Oh, that's my favorite place during the fair.
So there's going to be a lot of variety. But anyway,
back are the 4-H folks running that one at the
4-H? Yes.
Excellent. So support that, because every time you eat an ice cream cone or a milkshake, it goes back to 4-H programs.
Absolutely. This is a big community event. Yep. We need everybody to participate and make this a big bash. But back to the annex, the kids are going to be building. They've already built these bikes and tricycles and wagons and the like.
So it's kind of, and that's like, if you've ever been to car shows, especially when for lowriders, things like that. A lot of times it's not just the car, it's the bike. There's like a package set.
It's the whole family.
I will tell you that when I was a kid, and there was a restaurant called Hardee's, which was kind of like a Carl's Jr. or something.
Yeah, I've eaten at Hardee's.
Yeah, they don't have them around here.
Good burgers.
Yeah, they were. But when I was a kid, they were giving away a set, like a toy, like your Happy Meal deals. And they had, at the time, it was a NASCAR Cale Yarborough car because he was driving the Hardee's car. But then they had the whole set. You could get the tractor trailer, the load up, the bike. And so think of like these cars like that, where you got the car, but then you got a bike or a wagon or some other kind of pairings that themed to the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you watch and see. The kids are going to flock to that area and look at these bikes and things. And who knows how many kids will be inspired to do something like that. And to keep their energy focused on that kind of
I'm sure they're going to be
activity.
turning wrenches on the bicycle now. In a couple of years, they're turning wrenches on under the hood of a car.
and if you want to see what kind of cars are going to be there, go on to our website, Matanza with a Z, Mataza, Fest, as in festival, but fest.com.
Yeah. And you can see there, and you can see all we're talking about here. Sign up.
Absolutely. And I want to make sure that we recognize our sponsors.
Yes, please.
The city of Roswell has been phenomenal in terms of its support. We have NMMI has supported us. Eastern New Mexico University in Roswell has supported us. Church on the Move has supported us also. Thank you, Pastor Troy. We appreciate the support. Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And, of course, there are a number of
businesses,
donors,
individuals.
Well, yes, wealthy individuals that prefer to remain anonymous.
We have a lot of those in town. We're very appreciative of that.
Oh, we are. Yep. We are. And the reason they're doing this is they recognize the need for alternative educational paths. And this is something we need to talk about.
Sure.
That's the whole purpose behind this. Yes, there's going to be culture and culinary adventure and all of these wonderful events and these fun things to do. But at the end of the day, the importance of this event is we are supporting alternative paths to educational excellence, including military, entrepreneurship, advanced academics, and, of course, skilled trades.
Which is probably the reason why you're seeing NMMI and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell very much on board with this program.
Absolutely. And some of the corporate sponsors also, because if you look down the road, let me give you an example that was given to me recently. BuiltWise, in 2 years, BuiltWise, the manufactured home, the homemaker.
Gotcha.
They're going to need 400 employees.
Job growth here is very good.
Those are excellent jobs.
Well, these are raising family jobs.
You're not out in the sun baking.
Yeah.
But it's not 4-year college with $100,000 worth of debt. It's a great career.
And it's one that you raise a family on.
And absolutely.
Yeah.
And think about this. Those 400 have to be drug-free. So we have to figure out how we're going to get all of these folks in place so that they can take advantage of local job opportunities.
Absolutely.
And we could direct education to the local job opportunities and the needs of the local employers.
Absolutely. Servicing the needs of that. And obviously the colleges are very much, that's kind of where they're shifting their focus is here. And we as a community support. And so really, yes, like you said, we're out here having fun and all this, but the monies, the information, the stuff we're doing, this is all setting that foundation to create more opportunities, more avenues to open up for places like NMMI and AMNR to offer these alternate, paths to success here. And that's kind of,
no question.
We just had ENMUR last hour, and we were talking about, look, if you're here for a degree thing or this, whatever, the campus is here for everybody, not just everyone looking for a 4-year degree, and that's very much true. And when you and I grew up, that was the way they sent us. It's like, no, you got to go to college, and then the only way you're going to succeed in life is get your high school diploma, and then go to college and get your 4-year degree, and then go have your 4.2 kids and picket fence and all the things that they tell you about. And as we get up, it's like,
that's okay.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the world we live in anymore. If you have the drive and the dedication to do it, there are many, many different paths to success, and college doesn't have to be one of them. College is not a bad one, but it's not the only one.
Oh, Mike, you just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Listen to this statistic, and I think this statistic exemplifies what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Chaves County is 67% Hispanic. The Hispanic high school graduation rate in Chaves County is 65%.
Wow. And
I've had a lot of people that are very knowledgeable argue that it's a lot less than that. Now, why? Well, I don't know. We're finding, this community and this effort that this community has undertaken is trying to find that answer. Why is that? But I believe personally that the reason for that is that not every kid wants a 4-year college education.
Sure.
Not everybody wants to go through that. And so what's the alternative? Well, I don't know. I don't believe that they know of all of these alternatives.
So let's throw it on the table and see what sticks.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And whether it's a military path or whether it's, and to be honest, in the world of technology and things, you can start your own businesses and start your own things sitting in the basement of your house in a computer. This is the world we live in now.
Remember my partner that was here?
Yes.
Alfredo Garcia with Raviga Technologies.
Yeah.
He's the president of the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, and he has a very successful technology business.
Absolutely. That's the world we live in now. But you don't have to necessarily go to that four-year school to get that. Now, that being said, then there's paths to go to the 4-year school to go to a different, and this is where, NMMI and ENMUR, they're really trying to find these alternative ways. It's like saying, okay, we're not here, but we can get you the training, the resources you need to pursue that path through so even today, colleges aren't 4-year degree factories anymore. They are, especially community colleges and places that serve towns like this, they're evolving to meet the needs of what is in their own backyard, not what the world needs.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we're getting back to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're bringing it local. We're bringing it home. And I mean, there are no bigger supporters than NMMI, Colonel David West at NMMI, and Dr. Sean Powell down at Eastern New Mexico.
Yeah.
They're laser focused on this.
Sure.
They understand the issues. The Eastern New Mexico understands and has incredible programs for kids that don't want to, and adults too, by the way.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget that there
Hey,
are
retirees, you looking for some stuff to do after retirement?
That's a
A
possibility.
lot of opportunities.
But there are also a lot of 25 to 45-year-olds that wake up one morning and say, you know,
Tired of doing the thing I'm doing.
I should have gotten my GED. This is a grind. I want a career. And so that is offered by Eastern New Mexico
Absolutely.
in spades. And the cost is amazing.
Yeah.
In
money's
many
not the
cases.
issue. They'll find a way to get it in there if you
They'll
have the dedication and do that.
They'll definitely find a way. I have an example for you, and that is the Chris Bullard down there at CDCW Community Workplace. I never can remember the name.
When they throw in a lot of letters, that's when my brain starts getting mushy.
But I remember his name. That's the important part.
That's right. That's the one you need to know.
So Chris Bullard has a drone program where you can go down and get lessons on how to become a drone operator and get licensed and certified, and it'll cost you something like $30.
Yeah. And guess what? People are making careers out of that.
Yeah, they make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And what about the CDL drivers? It'll cost you $500. Well, if you're going to get your CDL license, just outside of ENMUR, just go straight
Private
somewhere.
or whatever. Yeah.
It'll cost you $5,000. You go to ENMUR, your CDL is going to cost you $500.
That's a big difference.
It's a big difference. And now let's talk about NMMI. NMMI Junior College. Out of 8,000 junior colleges, NMMI is consistently ranked in the top 5.
Oh yeah, they're world class.
They are. You got it.
Yep.
They are world class.
Yep.
Let's talk about their high school program. Their high school program. They have more teachers with advanced degrees than any other boarding school in the United States.
The things those kids are doing, like every once in a while I'll have some of the clubs come on and they're starting businesses over there. They're literally creating innovations in technology over there at high school level.
Yes. Yeah. Well, to your point.
Yeah.
There was a global, worldwide STEM competition, high school STEM competition.
Yeah.
NMMI took 4th in the world.
Yeah, and those students that are in part of this, that I'm just saying, this could be their business, like their thing that like their Bill Gates, Microsoft, this thing. This could be and they literally started it in some classrooms at the campus of NMMI.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's what's going on over there. Yeah.
Colonel West is very proud, and rightly so, that students were admitted to West Point this year, West Point. And the one that, I mean, that's quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
But the one that absolutely blows me away is they were admitted to Wharton.
Oh, wow.
Wharton.
That's
you don't get better than...
Yeah, that's about as big a feather in your cap as you can put in one.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, we're putting out, and it's right here. And that's what we're supporting.
And then, of course, we've got NMMI IPA, the Intermediate Preparatory Academy.
Which is growing leaps and bounds here in their first couple of years of existence here.
They are. And I had a meeting with, I raised money for them last year, and the Horseshoe Nails Brigade.
Yes.
Which the Horseshoe Nails Brigade is the
umbrella
nonprofit
here.
Yeah,
we haven't mentioned that much here on this thing. We've been talking about what they do, but that's their name.
And we're the ones that are putting on the Matanza Fest.
Yes.
Now, interesting thing is we raised money for them last year, covered all of these kids' expenses, supplementary expenses, I should add, not tuition, but supplemental expenses and lunches for an entire academic year
That's great.
Here's the important thing. 85% of those kids are of color, and 85% of those kids come from economically distressed households.
Excellent.
So we've already impacted the community.
Absolutely.
Now, I met with the head of school there, Dr. Nina Leacock, and I was asking her and trying to get a sense of how is the progress going with these kids. And two things stood out to me. Number one, she said, by the time these kids get to 9th grade, they will be ready to go into NMMI without any difficulty. As high as NMMI standards are, they'll be ready to go in without any problem.
That's great.
Number two,
setting the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Number two, they have to take Latin. And if you think about Latin, I mean, Latin is the root of so many.
But so you can't be a lawyer, a doctor, or anything else without a little Latin in you.
Absolutely. Well, by the time they reach 9th grade at NMMI IPA, they will be required to be able to read the Aeneid by Virgil in Latin.
Wow. That'd be a good party trick in your prison. I just saw the time. We're about to get kicked off the radio here for the day. But please, mark it on your calendars. May 10th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, our first annual Matanza Fest. Come out and still got time to sign up your teams, make plans to attend. If you go to matanzafest.com, matanzafest.com. I believe I spelled it right on top of my head. You did. And that'll take you right there. You can sign up your teams. You can read more about the cars and the car show and all the music and the music lineup and all that stuff. And, of course, if you want to be a part, there's a great sign up for that, too.
You can see pictures of the teams cooking. And if you want to talk with somebody, your contact is Alfredo Garcia. And Alfredo's phone number is 575-317-9930. You
can probably catch him over at the Hispano Chamber when you're not when he's not doing his day job.
That's 575-317-9930.
Very good. And then mark it on your calendars. May 10th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, our first annual Matanza Fest. Come ready to eat. Come ready to have fun. Come ready to dance. Come ready to just be a part of the community.
Be a part of a new tradition here in Chaves County.
And all at the same time raising money and awareness to help kids expand their education and create paths for kids that don't necessarily have them. So
wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and we'll see you next time, John.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime. This is what this thing is, and this is what this is about. Community and just fun stuff. So good deal.
Well, it was fun.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right, it is 10 o'clock. We got to go. They get mad when I start taking over other people's shows. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.